All right.
It's
We're live on
alive.
the internet.
We're live on the internet.
We're here. Everybody. Oh my gosh, there's so many people in chat. Hello, Melanie and Nikki
Guys, I
and
have
Elisa.
lentil stew for lunch.
Oh, Nikki's marathoning. Cold Breath by Hohi. Need to get off my needles. Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm realizing I didn't set up our timer thing properly, so give me 1 second.
I realized at 11:30 I hadn't had lunch.
I did a very similar
I went,
thing.
oops. Fed the cat first, then fed myself.
Let me just set up this timer. Okay, there's that.
Complete with toast, guys. I have a Spanish lentil stew with toast. And yes, it's vegan because it's lentil based. So, onion, garlic, lentils, canadized tomatoes, carrots, celery, and a couple of potatoes.
I just need to add a text source.
Then spices and stuff. Because nothing says live on the internet like make watching Jocelyn scarf lunch. Oh yeah. I do have my whips
Thank
prepped for
you.
sprints. I don't
I've
have a
just been
husband
delivered
who
a single slice of
delivers.
bacon.
What? He just brought you one.
Well, I only asked for one. He was making a bacon sandwich, and I'm like, can I have one slice?
One slice of it. All
One
right.
slice. Thank you.
His brother bought bacon for us to make breakfast for supper yesterday because we were going to have a gaming day, and we did. And he's like, "Why am I buying the bacon?" I'm like, "Because you're going to eat half to two-thirds of the package." And I was correct. No leftover bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's why I make him buy the bacon, people. It was good. We had roasted potatoes, bacon, tofu scramble, and I made that diced tomato salad thing I like to make. It was a really good breakfast for supper.
Why is this enormous, or is this tiny? I can't tell. Whoa.
He did put the request in for beef barley soup if we game on Wednesday. And I said, absolutely. A fresh loaf of bread and beef barley soup. Oh, yeah, that'll be super good. I wish we had fall temperatures to go with the beef barley soup I want to make.
Okay, seriously, how big is this thing that I've added?
I don't know what
Don't
you're
mind
doing.
me, guys. Just struggling. I'm trying to do a slightly different thing.
Uh-oh. Trying something new live.
I
Hasn't
know.
your
I meant to
coding
set this up.
stream taught you anything?
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. I shouldn't have done it.
I have no idea what chat's doing because I don't get to see chat.
Karen's first sprint is going to be dinner.
Ooh, good
Melanie
sprint.
just finished an entire bag of wine gums. There are no regrets.
Fair.
Jude has 30 minutes to figure out the second half of tea before I have to go cook it. I'd rather knit. Wouldn't we all?
I mean, I never regret that second slice of pumpkin pie, and I probably should.
No, no, no regrets.
No regrets. So good. Did you post, as I talk with my mouth full, did you post the craft off choices for you for
I
this month?
did. I did.
I gotta go vote. I always forget to vote. I'm gonna go vote this time, guys.
Seriously, why is this huge? I don't like it.
Did you vote for me?
There we go. Okay.
Completely ignores me. Did you vote
Sorry,
on
did I
mine?
vote for it? No, I haven't voted for yours yet.
But I
Now.
posted pretty colors to pick from. I thought about listing like what project was what colors, and then I went, nope, this is going to be purely by color. They're two different projects. but everybody just gets to see the colors. And then I'll reveal the project they picked on Sunday. Okay, my tummy feels better because it's got food in it. And to be fair, had I really been thinking in advance, I would have got a piece of fudge out of the freezer because I got fudge in the freezer right now, but I super did not do that.
I'm so perplexed where I've added an element to
Mm-hmm.
this thing and it's
Mm-hmm.
disappeared. I don't know where it has gone.
Watch us struggle live. Okay, so I posted a discussion comment in Discord this morning because it came about in conversation yesterday. Does pumpkin pie need Cool Whip or whipped cream on top of it to make it tasty or tastier? Or are you a pumpkin pie no whip person? Now, I'm a pumpkin pie whip person, though I will confess I have to make pumpkin pies from scratch, so I'm lazy and I will use canned whipped cream. Because if I can get the coconut-based whipping cream in the can, oh man, it's
Well,
so good.
obviously.
Yeah. If not, I'll do Cool Whip. And while yes, I sets me off if I eat the whole tub of Cool Whip, I should not be eating a whole tub of Cool Whip in one sitting. That would just set me off for a whole other list of reasons. But I rarely bother to whip cream into whipped cream. Does that make sense? I can. I am capable of it. I just usually don't. But I am a pumpkin pie plus whipped cream person.
Oops, that's not the correct file. Haha.
But I'm also a key lime over lemon meringue because meringue is made with egg whites. And me and eggs don't get along very well. We're not like hated enemies, but we're like mistrusted allies. It's like you and apples. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But key lime pie was very tart and citrusy, great in the summer, and I can avoid the eggs. But I'm also if you have a fruit pie, like a blueberry pie or an apple pie, it's got to have ice cream and it's got to be warm, or I'm less interested in it. Does that make sense? But I know some people who like their like apple pies and blueberry pies and stuff cold or cherry pies with no ice cream, which just boggles my mind. Or you can be like my niece and then there's more whipped
There
cream
we
than
go.
pie. Depends on how you go, right?
Okay. I've finally managed it. Sorry, guys. I should have set this up before the stream and I absolutely forgot.
Well done. Hey, I babbled.
You babbled so well.
That's my job.
My camp on the topping on pie is that yes, topping on pie makes it better. Cool Whip is acceptable, but ideally you want like homemade either whipped cream or ice cream.
Mm-hmm. But I also acknowledge I'm lazy, and sometimes there's a lot going on, and you need to like time manage. And if you're making a big family dinner,
Yeah, Cool Whip, whipped cream in a can, perfectly acceptable.
we'll do the job. Or you're like me and you're one person, I would not want a whipped cream for one serving.
No. I set out to make ice cream the other day and I accidentally made butter.
I still find that funny.
I put the whipping cream in the stand mixer and I turned it on. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go do this one other thing because this is gonna take a few minutes.
Nope, bad idea.
Absolutely forgot. Didn't set myself a timer. Completely forgot. And, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come back 20 minutes later going, oh, that's still running! And yeah, I got butter. It was a very nice butter.
Good.
I had to go out and buy some sourdough to eat with the butter. Because it was supposed to be ice cream and we were going to make an apple crisp, but nope, instead we have butter, so I had to go buy bread. I mean, we had bread, but we had to go. I had to go buy nice bread to go with the nice butter.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's what bakeries are for.
Knitting Purple says pie in one dish, ice cream in another. They can't touch. Really?
That's fair. I know some people that can't have their mashed potatoes touch their peas,
Well, I mean, what do you
where
do with
I'm a
eating
mix
peas
the mashed
anyway?
potatoes in with the peas.
Nah, peas
Oh, I
are
love peas.
unless they're fresh. Fresh peas are amazing.
Oh, fresh peas, cooked peas. I love them. Love them all.
Frozen peas, meh.
Oh yeah, I have no problem with
This
frozen
is my
peas.
opinion on peas.
Yeah, I have no problem with frozen peas. I prefer fresh from the farm garden, but my grandparents haven't gardened in a very long time. And fresh shelled peas are not worth the price they charge you. So unless I'm going to start growing peas, which I will not be,
No, that sounds like too much work.
frozen it is.
Asa has sourdough butter and cheese just because we chatted about it the other day. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
fair, fair.
Uh,
All right, I am full of lunch. You finally figured out your thing?
I finally figured out the thing. Yes, I can.
Phaedra has an open window with light, so she can look outside.
There we go. Can I like reset? There we go. Okay, we're good.
And she had her lunch, so she should be good.
She should be good. Okay.
She should be good. My phone's on silent. Is your phone on silent?
My phone is on silent.
This is good.
My first sprint is going to be eat this piece of bacon before it's cold, but then I'm going to do the heels on these socks because I'm at the heels. I would like everyone to acknowledge that I did like the foot of two socks in a week.
In a week.
In a week. That is the progress keeper from when we recorded.
That's impressive.
And I am right now gonna do the heel.
Okay. I
I'm very
am
excited about this.
arguing with things? Why am I arguing with things? Oh, it's because it's my lip gloss. I'm arguing with my lip gloss. I'm gonna work on my Endless Summer Adventure shawl.
Melanie, while I have my faves, I'm like Dean Winchester. Pie of any kind is great.
You know, there's always one.
Jude says, as a small child, the teen felt that peas were only good for squishing and took delight in this process. Peas are good for squishing. They are very satisfying.
I grew up with a dad where if you weren't watching him, he'd eat your peas. Like my dad really loves peas. So when we went to Grandma and Grandpa's farm, because my grandparents had a farm when I was younger, and we came down south, my dad's parents did. We would go out in the summer and we would help Grandma collect the peas from the garden. I'm absolutely positive more peas went in our face than ever went in those buckets.
Well, you know what? It's a vegetable.
But it made us happy, so.
Karen says, I cut up apples for a little crumble for later, and it's all your fault. Plus, I found vegan vanilla ice cream in the freezer that needs to get eaten.
Yep.
We'll take the blame for that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Why? I am not backlit correctly. So I gotta count to see where I am in my own pattern.
Just automatically know?
Off the top of my head, what I'm designing? No, I don't.
Alright. Shall I start this thing?
Yes, I'm on 8 of 9 eyelet holes.
Alright. 3, 2, 1.
Goes!
Sprint.
I've been working pretty hardcore on the cowl for the midwinter set. The midwinter collection. Which is coming along nicely, so the other parts are done. The second mitten is done, the hat is done. I just need to finish that cowl. Will it be done in time for tomorrow? Probably not. Probably not. But one could hope. The big thing is the patterns are about 80 to 90% written. And I've started the incredibly long, drawn out, annoying process of posting them. Mm-hmm. thank heaven Lovecrafts lets me just export from Ravelry. So my Ravelry store and my Lovecraft store are connected. So it'll export over to Lovecrafts from Ravelry, but Ravelry has got many, many steps, of which there should be, to post your patterns. So I started the process with that because it's not one, it's three. And I'm already looking at it going, I need fingerless mitts and a headband. So it's five from three.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I wanted in different weights. So now I'm like, okay, cool. Now I have to make a worsted version and a fingering version. Okay.
Okay, I'm just trying
But
to read the thing where I'm
we
doing
have a
two at a
name.
time, two at a time socks.
It's the midwinter collection. So midwinter mitts, midwinter hat. You get the idea. Which I really like, and is Oss's one of Oss's favorite winter songs, and I thoroughly enjoyed the song. It was really good. And I went, that is lovely, and that's perfect. Because I don't know what your guys' weather does, but we nowadays, like for like the last four or
Okay,
five
okay.
years, we've
This
been
makes more
getting
sense.
snow just before Christmas. Like everybody starts to panic at the end of November when we still don't really have any snow. That there'll be no snow for Christmas when it's showing up later and later every year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the end of September and I'm 24 degrees Celsius for the high today. Our highs should be 15,
Well, they will
not
be next week, I think.
24.
I was
Well,
checking the weather.
they've been saying that for 3 weeks. So I'm not
True,
I'm
what do
not
they
believing
know?
them. Yeah, I'm not
The
believing
old
them on
weather
that.
models are not
And weather changes. It changes
accurate.
hourly. It changes hourly. It's a very educated guess. And it's a lovely guess. I hope we are there, but I'm certainly not holding them to it
Mm-hmm.
because that's just silly. Any number of things can cause that to go sideways.
Oh, thank you, Elsa, for linking to Jocelyn's stuff on Ravelry.
Oh, thank you.
I was just having a thought I should do that, but Elsa's on it.
Austin's on it. Okay, good. So I went through and I have some Briggs and Little worsted that I think will make a great worsted weight set version, and I can show it in 2 colors or 5 colors because like it's a scrap busting project. Like I put the weights of how much yarn was used in grams so everybody can essentially stash dive or scrap bust if they wanted to make their own
Nice.
set. The only thing I've got that matches all the way through is the ribbing on the mittens and the hat and the cowl are all color one. So that's the consistency in the set if you do like a scrap busting set. But if you just left your cuffs and your head, like if you left all your ribbing the same color and then made everything else different colors or a range of different colors, I think that would look really cool too. And scrap busting. Who doesn't love a scrap busting project? That would make a Christmas present. I was like, oh, if I make it out of acrylic, it could be my mom's Christmas present.
Hey.
That might happen. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I definitely want worsted and I definitely want fingering weight. So, like, yes,
Ooh.
yes to both. Both have to happen, which just means more knitting for me.
Yep.
Don't feel bad for me, guys. I've also collected a metric boatload, and that is an accurate measurement of stupidly adorable, cute Halloween things to crochet.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Aggressively stupid, fun
Little
Halloween
ghosties and
crafts.
kitties and
Uh,
spiders and
Pumpkins and yeah, it's going to be excessive. It's going to be excessive. So for all of the free patterns that I've located and found, I figure I will film tutorials for them and put them up because you can do that with free patterns because they're
yeah.
free.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do that next month on my personal YouTube channel because I'm going to be making them anyway.
Might as well.
I might as well, and it is much easier for me to teach people crochet than it is knitting because it's for crochet I'm just left-handed. For knitting I'm all sorts of weird.
Yeah, you're inside out and backwards. Mirror
I'm
knitting.
also I am I knit right-handed even though I'm left, which is how we end up inside out or backwards.
It's very weird.
But it's the only way that makes sense in my head, so that's what I do because in the end,
It
I'll still
obviously
have a
works.
project. It works fine. It just means like if you watch my charts in yoked sweaters, unless it's the same on both sides of the chart, my charts are reversed. So people are pointing in the wrong direction from everybody else. My bendy arrow went the wrong way. That's a callback to a really old project. Remember my bendy arrow?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like
My
red and white, I
bend,
think.
yeah, my arrow went the wrong direction.
Well, if
Hey,
you
it
do it
still worked.
opposite.
It still worked, and it was delightful. I liked it. I ended up giving that one to my cousin, who my dad's in town replacing her roof this weekend. I gave it to her for her to have and use because she's developed a chronic cough problem, so temperature in her lungs are finicky. So cold air, smoggy air, like she has to be careful. Or she starts coughing right away.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I made this out of literally like silk and something. Like it's a bougie shawl version that I made of. So I gave it to her because it feels really nice right up against the face. Then it's fingering so she can hold it up and breathe and not have too much of her breathing regulated. And
Mm.
I did this years before masks were something that you could just do. So don't get me wrong, when I'm having a coughing day, yeah, I love my mask and I will wear it out and everywhere because it heats the air and moisturizes the air I'm sucking into my lungs,
Hmm.
which feels real nice. Feels real nice when I'm having a dry throat day and a dry cough day. Helps keep the cough down. Also, it means like if I do things like if I put a little bit of Vicks by my nose,
Mm-hmm.
I can keep the Vicks fumes coming in instead of
Oh, yeah, that's
evaporating
gotta be
everywhere, which,
effective.
oh man, that's nice. Or mint if I need to override the smell of people. It's colognes, it's perfumes, it's laundry detergents, it's the
People are
environmental
smelly.
stuff we pick up. People are smelly. So are places, so are things. It's just how it works. So is my cat. I have to wipe her today. She's not going to be impressed.
No.
Every time the mysterious Mr. B got up and left whatever chair he was sitting on, she took over the chair. And she just followed him around the apartment. Oh, he got up? That's my chair now.
Amazing. Can't decide if she likes them or
Uh,
not.
I don't know if she knows if she likes him or not. She's only known him her whole life. And the steering contest between the two of them is not done. Okay, fine. It was fun. We got to play the Lord of the Rings Battle Company game, which is good because we did the learn to plays. So it was every rule was looked at and fully read. Every turn we discussed different options and different placements and stuff so that both of us would have a better grasp of the rule set for the league. So we'd like to, because the league's on break this month, because two of our league players, it's one of their busiest months of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them one of them is working heebie-jeebies this Halloween. So there is no such thing as a weekend till November. That's just that's how that works. And then the other one is so close to finishing his cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he pushes, he's got a fully finished cabin, and he's been working on the cabin while running a retail store with his wife
Oh.
and a toddler for like the last two
Oh.
years. He would really
Holy.
like to be done the cabin
Yeah, I can
so
get.
that that's
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
not on his plate anymore. And we went, yes, take the month and get that finished. Like they're doing siding on the outside. Like he's so close. You can see
Oh,
the light
man.
at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, and you really want to get that done before winter if you can.
Yeah, then he doesn't have to worry about it, right?
Yeah.
And it's done. So that's his hope and plan. But when you work retail, your life doesn't exist while the store is open. and for several hours on either side before or after, depending on the day, right? Like that's just what owning and managing a store is. It is your life. And then they
Mm-hmm.
got a 3 year old. three
Yeah.
year old. How long of pandemic was 2020, right?
Started in 2020, or
So
lockdown
yes,
started in 2020.
2020. Yeah, so yeah, their daughter's 3 because she was born just after lockdowns. She was born the May of lockdowns. So she's 3.
Cool. She's had a weird introduction to the world.
Oh, for her, it seems perfectly normal. I mean, they live out in a farm, like
Oh, okay. So
on like a couple of acres of land outside of a small town. So like, this is not really any different than what her life would have been anyway.
fair enough.
Yeah, I'm like, yes and no. She was always going to have the small town raising anyway, because that's where she lives.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works. So I have to.
Chat's been talking about a cabled cardie. Hohi's new cabled cardie is gorgeous, apparently.
Okay,
People have been discussing color options, so I'm gonna have to look that up.
sure. Oh, if I give you permissions, you can share.
Can I? Okay, but we
Let
have to do it
me
after the sprint
push
though, because the point of the
buttons.
sprints is to focus.
Yes. Well, I'm not pushing the buttons right now. I'm knitting. I'm busy. I need to decide if I want one pumpkin pie and one blueberry pie, or if I should be like less of a dessert glutton and only make one pie. And I feel like I'm gonna make both,
Well, see, if you have two pies, you can freeze the parts of the pies that you don't want to eat right now.
which I always do with pie and cake. Like the slab chocolate cake and the brownies, like all of my desserts that I make are freezable. So I make a batch and then I freeze it. Then I can rotate. So like because I don't necessarily want to eat like a piece of pie every night with dinner for like a week solid,
I mean,
even if
I
it's
would,
frozen all the
but
time. But sometimes I want something different. Like sometimes I want a piece of cake or I want like a tart. Like I don't or a slice of like pumpkin loaf or something. I don't always necessarily want my dessert snack for the day to be the same thing. I have the same problem
Melanie
with
says all
leftovers.
the pie.
Oh, the pie. I have the same problem with leftovers. Like I don't take leftovers home from restaurants because I don't go back to it. I don't enjoy it. Which makes no sense. It's the same with food prep. Like I'll food prep basics and chunks of like I'll bake the tofu, but the flavor of the tofu and where the tofu goes has to change every day, or I don't want it. Makes it
I'm the
hard because like
exact opposite.
soups are huge batches. I can only eat like soup 2 or 3 days in a row, and then I have to freeze the rest of it for a further point down the road.
If I find something I like, I am perfectly happy to eat that. Not at like every single meal, but like, okay, this is my lunch this week, and it's exactly the same all week. And
I
if it's
can't do
good,
that.
I have no issues with that.
I can't do it. I gotta change it up. It can't be the same thing more than 2 days in a row. It's just gotta be something different.
Yeah, I think Mr. Dan is the same way, so I don't often get to just eat the same thing for a week. It doesn't really happen.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, left to my own devices, I'd make like a vat of soup, and that would be dinner for the week.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nikki says Marvel, sorry, was born in 2019 and was a preemie, so we were isolating before lockdowns.
Yeah, you would be with
Yeah,
the preemie. That is the byproduct of preemie births, just to keep everybody safe.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's so important to keep everybody safe with the preemie. Oh my goodness. Do you
So
remember our girlfriend who had the preemie?
yes,
Yeah, like we didn't see her for oh gosh, well over a year until it was deemed safe to
yeah, it
introduce.
was quite a while.
It was quite a while. I mean, we got tons of photos and stuff,
Yeah,
and there were calls and chats and stuff. So like we didn't stop talking all the time, but for her safety, most of us backed off and said nope. Health comes first. We will see you when it's safe. We're not going anywhere. It's the same with one of my girlfriends. She has MS. I don't see her in person between October and May because for her health and her heritage backgrounds, she isolates all winter long. She has to.
Hmm.
So we hang out in person during the summer when it's safer. And then in the winter, when it isn't as safe, we just hang out and chat and do phone calls and stuff because that's what's better for her health. She has enough health problems where we do not need to be adding to the
Oh,
pile.
yeah.
We do not need to be adding to the pile. Absolutely not.
Oh, wow. Marvel was 3 months early. Ooh, that's a lot early.
It's a lot early.
Elisa says, I was 3 sems ahead of having my dad being my prof in COVID. That man taught a week earlier since he was set up already.
Oh,
Jude says, leftover pie or cake, etc., is unheard of in this house.
one human, guys. I'm one human. And the
I mean,
mysterious Mr. B is not a dessert eater. As a general rule of thumb, he doesn't like sweets. So while I will never have leftover bacon, ever, I rarely have leftover chicken when he buys a whole rotisserie chicken for just the two of us. I rarely have more than a serving for the next day when that happens. Sweets, he's not a
boys.
sweet eater. He's not a sweet eater, so I always have sweets. I don't have a problem eating them. I just have to switch it up. I'll make the pan of 12 cinnamon rolls, but it could take me like 4 weeks before I eat through them. That's why I make them and freeze them. Oh, and I did the math,
Hmm.
which is why he was making fun of me because it was me, my fabric tape measure, and will these things. I can keep my deep freezer, still get rid of the couch. Talked with Dad. We're gonna do it at Christmas because then he's got more time to do a bit of prep work for it because it was like an idea in my head randomly yesterday
Mm.
morning.
Yes.
And we're gonna dismantle the couch and turn it into two chairs. And I've
Oh.
always wanted two chairs, not a couch. I don't like couches. There's nothing wrong with couches. They're perfectly acceptable pieces of furniture.
Who am I going to couch surf with when I come to town?
You're gonna have to deal with cozy chairs. And I mean, it's not happening until Christmas, so there'll still be a couch next time you're in. But I'm gonna go to chairs, which makes me so happy because that's the sort of like the two chairs, then my cedar chest, which is my coffee table, and like my electric fireplace. Like that setup has been the dream setup for me for a while, and I'm creeping closer to it because I can salvage all the materials out of the couch to make
Mm-hmm.
two very firm, well stuffed chairs, which I'm totally going to do. And I can do all the reupholstering and the restuffing. That just requires a staple gun, which I have, patience, which I have, and fabric, which I have, and stuffing, which I'll be claiming back from the couch, right? Like
Yeah.
I have all the components, but the wood part, the wood framing part and stuff, I don't have a skill saw anymore. I don't. It's not a thing I need to have anymore, so I don't have one. So it's like Dad says when he comes down at Christmas, we'll do it. It means I'll unupholster the couch, and then the frame will go away, and then two chair frames will come back, and then I'll reupholster the chairs, right? Which that works perfect.
Sounds like a
It's
good
very
system. You get the
exciting.
chairs you want. You get
Yeah,
rid of the couch you don't want, but you get to recycle.
yeah.
And that's great.
And it's not wasting, it's not going to a landfill, it's not being just pitched out the side door.
You're upcycling.
I'm upcycling. And I get to keep the freezer because it leaves space for the freezer, and I can move my kitchen table into the living room, and I can actually have a kitchen table in my apartment.
Whoa.
So when you come by next Monday, what day? I know we were talking about it earlier. I already forgot.
Yeah,
What day were
Thanksgiving Monday, whatever day that is.
we? Okay, that's whatever. And we
The Monday
record.
after the one that's in a couple of days.
Got it. Not tomorrow or not 2 days from now, but nine
The one
days from
after
now.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. I will have a kitchen table out there, but I can't open it up to its full spacing until the couch goes away. I'm still gonna cram it in there and use it till Christmas because I can make do for like a month or two. It won't kill me. But
Yeah.
2 months? Yeah, it's like 2 months till Christmas. October to November, and then
Jude
November
says
to
kitchen table.
December.
It's just crazy pants talk.
So like 3 months, right? Because you get like October to November and then December, November to December, and then a chunk of December. So like 2.5 months, two and a half, two, yeah, 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. He did drop off my computer table, my new computer table for me, so I can start that flip. Not today, not tomorrow, but Monday, I think I'll do that. Which should help. What row am I on for eyelets? Gee, it's a
I
good
don't
thing I
know.
know how to count.
Jude says, yay for getting the apartment how you want.
Oh yeah.
And also, tall teenagers eat a lot.
8, 9. Short teenagers also eat a lot. Teenagers
Teenagers in
are
general eat a
just
lot.
kind of consume their weight in food for their entire teenage lives because they're busy doing a lot of stuff with their bodies, and their bodies need the fuel desperately. Their brains need it, their bodies need it.
Yep.
They also need a lot of sleep.
Yep.
Adults do not, teenagers need more.
Well, they're doing all the things and growing all the stuff, so.
Yeah, teenagers are doing way more work in the background than it looks like. All right.
Tracy's gotta go. Have fun, everyone.
Bye.
Have a great rest of your day.
I completely forgot to do the increase on that last row. Whoops.
Oh,
Oh well.
well. Artisanal detail.
Once it's blocked, you won't know the difference. It'll be fine.
I remember what the other thing was that I was gonna do before we started.
Okay.
The kids requested the little triceratops
Mm.
last time I was in town.
Yeah, but I want
And
one, and I asked first.
yeah, you did. I'm gonna make a bunch
And
of
I am
triceratops today as well to break up the sock knitting.
massively older than they are. So I
Okay,
pout
what
better.
color do you
I've
want
had
your
more practice.
triceratops to be?
I don't know. What are my options?
We can discuss it in 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Excellent. I look forward to our discussion in 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Basically, any of the colors you've seen for the potion bottles or the dinosaur hat.
Dear Lord, like I'm gonna remember anything other than the
Yeah, I know.
dinosaur hat.
That's not helpful. I'm sorry. In 1 minute, I will get the bag and we can discuss, and then I'll make
Fair.
you a triceratops. And I know
Because then
niece wanted.
he can go in my bowl with my boba, my stuffed boba tea.
Yes, that would be adorable.
With my rubber duckies on the outside.
Oh, I
I'm
also have the
poor.
Sylveon colors. So niece wanted the dark blue from the Sylveon, and
Okay.
nephew I think also requested a particular color, but I don't remember what that color was, and I was going to text
Oops.
and ask.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a that's a good idea. I texted my sister. I was like, just in case this becomes required information, these are my hours of availability until Dad goes home. And she's like, yeah, no, the surprise family dinner is a thing that happens every once in a while. I'm like, it does when parents are in town. She's like, thank you for the additional informational backup. I'm like, you're welcome. Just in case you wanted to schedule things, this is when I'm free. Now you know. That way they're not guessing. And if we decide to do something dinner wise while Dad's in town, because he's in town with his buddy, right? So like of course his buddy would also be welcome. How do we do just like a dinner all together? Then at least she knows what my schedule looks like.
Let's do this.
After that,
Okay,
I need
whatever.
very
We'll
little
just do
warning.
it. All right, sprint done.
Okay.
I have very nearly Hang on,
Okay.
2, 4, 6,
Mhm. Mhm.
8, 10, 12. What's a third of 36? That'd be
12?
12? Yeah. Okay.
I don't reverse math well, so
Yes, chat says 12.
okay.
So I'm almost at the halfway point for this heal, which is not bad for 25 minutes.
Oh, that's really good.
Okay. We can discuss Triceratops colors.
While we
And
take a short break. Did you
yeah,
hit
we're
the
going to take a
short
short
break button?
break.
Yeah, short break button.
Short break button.
You spent all that time messing around, getting that counter to work. We should use it.
Yeah. Okay.
I did 2 complete eyelets, which is 4, 5. I did 5 rows on my shawl because I can math. Up, not down. And even then, up's a bit sketchy.
Okay. Hang on.
Might get it right, I might get it
Da, da,
wrong.
da, da. Okay. Wait, I gotta get this out of the way.
Grab colors.
And I gotta get this out of the way.
Almost done my first ball. It's getting kind of small.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to actually pull up this pattern.
Here we go.
Because I don't have the Triceratops pattern memorized. Okay. I have,
We
in no
haven't made
particular
60
order,
million?
I have the purple from the spikes on the dinosaur hat, the like electric
Yep.
purple.
Grape
I have
punch.
the electric green from also from the dinosaur hat.
Oh God, glow in the dark.
I have a leaf.
Okay,
I
that's good to
have
know.
I have navy blue from leftover
Okay.
from the border on my patchwork cardigan. I have a much more chill leafy green.
Ooh, that is a chill green.
I
I dropped
have
my lip gloss, guys.
I have white, but the horns are white, so I don't know if you want an all white Triceratops, but that's an
No,
option.
I don't need an albino Triceratops, but thank you.
There's a nice soft pink.
Okay. I feel like I can hear Sherry now. I want the pink one.
There's an off white, so sort of a creamy color, and there's the white on top for comparison, but there's an off white.
Okay, so a cream and a white.
Yeah. And then there is a light blue.
Okay.
And there's a dark blue.
That's like a
And I
royal
think
blue.
everything else in this bag is doubles of stuff that's already out. Yes.
Grape punch me.
Okay, one very purple Triceratops coming up.
Grape punch me. That'll be fun.
And I'll leave out the dark blue as well, because I remember that Niece wanted that one. And I will later send a message to find out which color nephew wanted. Because these things only take about half an hour, but I'm going to start by just making all 3 sets of horns, so I probably won't finish a whole one in the next sprint.
Well, that's fair.
Jude found some autumnals colored sock yarn and decided that I would call the man socks that will be made my equinox project. Got the legs finished this WIP. Nice.
Yeah, that'll do.
Where is my hook? Where's my...
That I can't tell you.
Well, I mean, you'll work, but where's the nice ergonomic one? Oh. It's in the other amigurumi that's on my desk. Oh, sorry. I also have red. It's currently attached to a project, though. But I could do a red if you want.
I want red.
You want red? Not
I
purple?
want red. Not purple.
Okay. Be gone, purple. I will...
How in the world does this even happen to me?
Pull a nice long thing through there.
I know how it happens to me, but still, how in the world does this happen to me? There we go.
And I will snip this. And then we can get started on the next sprint. Has everybody got their next project lined up for the next sprint? Come back to you later. Oops, that was a little too violent of a throw. I almost lost that under my desk. Don't lose that under my desk. That's like the successful iteration of the potion bottle pattern, finally.
That little water buffalo.
I agree. Okay, I need to find my pattern. Tops amigurumi. Okay.
You just stop causing me trouble and go in there.
Are you this one? Yes, I found it.
Because I may have got the stitch picked up on this sock.
It's the Club Crochet Triceratops pattern that is free.
Okay. Currently arguing because I got 2 socks stored in the bag. So of course the yarn is all messed up.
Mm-hmm. As happens
to me, and I don't have this problem with any other project. Just socks.
Just socks. Just socks.
It's just really why.
All right, I'm gonna start this thing.
Yeah, half of my sock working time is me unraveling nonsense. Go for it.
God. All right, go. Sprint. Okay, what are we doing? Nope, that's not what we're doing. I just immediately went to make a magic loop. That's not what we're doing.
Are you sure? Your brain thinks you are.
That is what my brain thinks we're doing, but actually all we're doing is chaining 2. And single crocheting 1 in the back loop of the second chain from the hook. It's like 3 stitches. So we chain 2. And then we single crochet 1 into the little bump that's on the back of that first chain.
Even an option for me.
I don't know why I put my scissors away. I need these.
Why?
There's a very strange sound outside, and I have no idea what it is.
Okay, I have a ball of fingering weight yarn. Oh, yeah, come here. If I tug again, will you come closer?
Oh,
nope.
Chain 1.
How about now? Ooh, almost. Come on.
Chain 1.
This is how my cat ends up playing with balls of yarn. Come here.
And pull through. There we go. I got one itty bitty little horn. It's like 4 stitches big.
Well, yeah, but it's supposed to be tiny.
Now I'm gonna make... Wait, I need 9 of these all together for all the Triceratops I'm gonna make before this trip. So I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Make 9 little horns. Assembly line this.
Useful also when painting orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Because orcs. So I don't have any Lord of the Rings models, so we just used my orcs. And to tell which model was which, we hung different types of stitch markers around the orcs' weapons and or heads. And pretended they were Lord of the Rings Men of the West.
The orcs are Lord of the Rings Men of the West. Why not? I'm sure. Melanie's working on the body of her Zwig? Zweg. Best thing I ever did was learn how to cable without a cable needle. Yes, that saves so much time.
People rave about it. I'm told it's a very good technique.
It's nice. As long as the cables aren't too crazy. I mean, if you've got to, like, cable 11 stitches in bulky yarn, is not gonna happen. But if you're doing like fingering weight yarn, it's your standard like 2 or 3 stitch cable, like it's nice.
I can't see my stitches, so it's not an option.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Though I do think it's a wonderful technique if it works for you. You should do it. I've almost finished fixing the yarn issue.
I have 3 Triceratops horns.
Well, I wanted to get some sock work done. So I was like, oh, I should work on some socks. But I didn't want to do two at a time socks. So I'm going to work on my stripy socks. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe I'll just end up spending the whole time detangling knots. Maybe my WIP sprint, this WIP sprint, is just to detangle my sock yarn.
It's
Because the
the
two at a
preparation
time,
sprint for the next sprint.
or the preparation sprint for later, because I won't want to look at it after I've prepared.
Wake up now.
How is that even a thing? Go this way. I know Mr. B even bought coffee. He left coffee beans here. And then he proceeded to
Nice.
drink a French press worth of coffee by himself.
Ooh.
He was tired. Which is why I think the coffee beans came here.
That's a lot of coffee. I mean, I did that the other day and I had regrets.
I don't think his system is quite as delicate as yours. He's more dwarven cast iron stomach.
Hmm. I put the last of that pumpkin pie coffee sauce.
Whiskey? Sauce stuff?
Not the whiskey one.
Okay.
The other one, the one that was a real.
Oh, that you made that I sent you.
Yes, with the sweetened condensed milk and the pumpkin
Yep.
puree and stuff.
Yeah, it's really good.
It is. My only thing is I cooked it a little too hard and the dairy parts congealed a little bit.
Ew.
So like only a little bit. So it's more it's a visual thing. Like texture wise, it's I mean there's pumpkin puree in it. There's that texture already. But just visually there's little floaty bits. I'm not selling this well. Don't boil sweetened condensed milk. You will. I'm doing the magic loop again, my goodness. Don't boil sweetened condensed milk. You will get your little proteins start to congeal and they'll float. And it is perfectly fine. It just doesn't look nice.
I tried because Instagram Reels have taken over my life. I tried the little chemistry trick to make clarified bacon grease for cooking.
Ooh, how'd
Not,
that work
not
out?
that freaking amazing.
I mean, bacon
I
grease
did,
for cooking is always amazing, but.
it is, but having it clarified,
So, what's the clarifying process like? And you get
stupid
something like
easy.
perfectly clear afterwards? Is that the goal?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I had to use a different container than like a super airtight container because I didn't have enough bacon grease. Because I go like little or like big. Like I don't really have a lot of in between sizes.
Mm hmm.
So it's literally let it cool down, but before it gets solidified, pour it into a container that you can get an airtight seal on, like a glass jam jar or something, right?
Yeah.
Fill it up 2/3 of the way with water, screw the lid on, shake the ever living snot out of it, and then stick it in the fridge lid side down. Look at it the next
Lid,
day.
lid side down.
Yeah, well, because your grease floats to the top, So if you do it lid side down, the next morning when you turn it right side up and unscrew the lid, you can just pour the water out. And you'll have your lard essentially at the bottom.
Interesting. Okay.
Just remember, if you don't, like coconut milk, when it's sat too long, the cream will be at the top, or the lard will be at the top, and the water will be at the bottom.
Yes.
So you want to have an airtight one you can flip. So
Yes.
when you pour it out the next day, your lard's in the right place. That seems wise.
Yes, I could see that being a very sad discovery that something doesn't seal as well as you think it does.
Oh yeah, you definitely want one that will seal airtight. I did not, so like I left mine right side up. So I'm gonna have to awkwardly remove my bacon lard from my container, but that's okay.
You can just like scoop off the top.
Pretty much. But I could have skipped that step if I had had an airtight container. I could have just flipped it up right and poured it out, put the lid back on, and called it a day.
All
Now
right,
I
we
got all
got
these
9 little
extra
horns.
steps. I am amused by the ones I've been seeing creeping up where people are rediscovering lemon peels in vinegar solution. I'm like, did you guys not know this? In a
Lemon
spray
peel and
bottle.
vinegar is a cleaning solution?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those. I just never have lemons.
Oh, I have lemons because they freeze. I have lemons in the freezer all the time. They zest 110% better frozen.
That
And
makes
then you
sense.
thaw them and juice them for whatever it is you need your lemon juice for. And then you literally cut the peel into strips, stick it in a water bottle with vinegar, like once you put all the peels in, you can get in the bottle.
Yeah.
And then you do your vinegar solution, shake it up, and away you go.
Okay. 2, 3.
I didn't realize people didn't know this.
Homemade cleaning products are not common knowledge.
Suppose not. Because I mean, like,
We've been conditioned that we need to buy all the antibacterial stuff from the store and like all these cleaning chemicals. Like our homes aren't clean unless we buy whatever hot new cleaning product.
the acidity in the lemons and the alkaline in the vinegar is essentially what those cleaning supplies are.
Yeah, they're
They're the
just
same
like
thing.
even harsher with different scents and I don't know.
Yeah, and
Oh, Jude
it's
says
most
orange peel also works.
yeah, if you like the smell of orange, that would totally work.
It's got to be the citrus aspect.
But why would I pay $7 for something I can make with like a thing of vinegar and I buy the big thing of vinegar because I use vinegar and baking
Yeah.
soda to do most of
Like
my
50
cleaning.
cents of vinegar and some lemon peels you were going to throw out anyway.
Yeah, like why in the world would I waste $7? Every time you do that, it's seven less dollars for yarn. So like what? No.
It's
No. Mm-mm. Or seven less dollars for fancy coffee.
a lot less dollars for fancy coffee.
It's a lot less dollars for fancy coffee. I'm not doing it. Like, is there some stuff I do buy? Yes. I buy the pet Swiffer wets because I have a pet and they help with dander control. But that's because I'm
Mm.
lazy. I'm lazy. And while I could do it by hand and I know how to do it by hand, I just want to be able to occasionally pull something out and go. Same with like Murphy's oil. I keep Murphy's oil. I have a lot of natural wood in my environment. You need to Murphy oil that, or it dries out, becomes brittle, and it wrecks the wood.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, but the bulk of my cleaning supplies is a bottle of bleach, a bottle of vinegar, and several boxes of baking soda. A bottle of Murphy's oil, Windex for the Windexing.
I need to get some more bottles because I made vinegar and whatever weed killer solution.
Mm-hmm.
And I took it outside in my nice spray bottle. Except I guess I hadn't screwed the lid on quite properly. I thought I had, but I
Oops.
guess I hadn't. So when I let go of the bottle to, spray,
Whoosh.
it went whoosh and the plastic bottle cracked and so I killed the weeds in a 3 foot patch really well. They're very dead. Nothing grows there now. So
Well
it
done.
really works, but I really wish I'd been able to spray it more than just dump
Dump.
it wholesale in a 3 foot square patch.
That's fair. I use spray bottles for a lot of things. I also keep I have those magic erasers. I love the magic erasers. I absolutely
Yes,
keep magic
magic erasers are
erasers.
good.
Dry Swiffers because then you can dry Swiffer your wall, which is a great way to get rid of cobwebs and dust on your walls and around picture frames and stuff.
I just take the Swiffer duster for stuff.
No. Dry Swiffer. Then you can dry Swiffer your floors, and then you just change out to a new dry Swiffer and you dry Swiffer your walls.
I've never really Swiffered the walls. I do like up in the corners of the ceiling, but I don't like specifically.
Oh, I wash my walls. Hardcore wash my
But we've
walls
also got
twice
all
a
this
year.
weird wallpaper that. How do you clean wallpaper?
That I don't know. I'd actually would have to phone my
Because we've
Google,
got
which
all
is
this.
my mom.
Everything's wallpaper. Or like
We
some
have
kind of
the wall.
weird.
Yeah. Mine are painted, so I can just go to town with the soapy baking soda water solution. Probably soapy baking soda water solution, but you'd have to check because wallpaper gets weird.
Yeah, because you don't want it. You definitely don't want it to be wet because then it just peels.
Yeah, but you
And
should
this is
be
like
able to do,
vintage 1970s.
yeah, so you should be able to do some sort of
Like you
cleaning
can see
for
it.
it.
No wait, sorry. In this corner, you can kind of see it a bit. How it's like shiny and silver with flower print.
The whole room's that way.
Whole room's that way. Yeah, and you can see it reflected in the wall up here, and like the whole room is mirror tiles and shiny silver floral wallpaper. I don't know how to clean it. And then like the most of the main floor is just like a plain white wallpaper, but it's got little textured diamonds on it. So I'm pretty sure
Mm,
if I tried to Swiffer that, I would just get little Swiffer fibers in it.
yeah, but
So
I'm not
I don't
sure
know
on
how to clean it.
wallpaper. I don't. I've never been of an age where when cleaning was a thing I paid attention to and lived somewhere with wallpaper.
Jude says Hoover it. I mean, I'd
Yeah.
still be really afraid I'd accidentally peel up an edge
No. No, you'd be fine.
because there's definitely some edges that are peeling all on their own, and I'd be very afraid to make that worse.
Don't get down to the corner. Go close.
Yeah.
Because really, your landlord should be putting that back where it is or renovating it.
Sure.
Okay.
Knitting Purple was saying that vinegar is the best thing to clean, windows with.
Yeah, yeah.
Even better than
I
like
have
Windex.
to. It is, yeah. I have to balance the fact that I absolutely abhor the smell of vinegar with its useful for cleaning.
Yeah, see, yeah, Mr. Diana also hates the smell. I personally don't mind it.
So I cover it with the citrus lemon scents. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
still getting the thing, the scent is covered, which works just fine. So that works. Or I'll put an essential oil in that I know isn't going to cause any damage. That again just covers the scent of the vinegar for me. So
where
like
do you
for
get essential
windows,
oils? Like where do you do that? Because everything, all the cleaning products are like, and then cover up the vinegar smell with essential oils. I'm like, where do you even get those?
do you
I don't
not
know.
shop? You're like the worst girl in the world. How do you not know how to shop?
I don't know. Where do you get the essential oils? Like literally, where do you get them?
You're okay. Well, you have to. Essential oils is one of those things that you pay for what you get. So don't buy the cheapest thing
Don't buy the cheap ones. Yeah,
because they're more additives and not actually any essential oils. Why would you do that to yourself?
yeah,
I
no.
like to buy like staple ones. Like I get my eucalyptus and my tea tree oil from like Shoppers Drug Mart. I get the fancier ones either from like an online company who's like got direct sales, and one of my girlfriends does direct sales for. So like some of my super weird ones, like frankincense, like that they come from her. But I tend to buy them from New Age stores or
I don't really
Shoppers
have
Drug
any of
Mart,
those. Shoppers Drug Mart.
Amazon.
I never go into a Shoppers Drug Mart unless I'm like going to the post office.
Jacob's Training Center.
I don't know if we have
They're in the weirdest
stuff like.
places.
Yeah, I.
Oh, you
I
will.
there's got
You
to be
just don't.
places.
There will. You just haven't looked for it. Dude, we had to remind you what a bakery was and
That
that you
this is
could go
true.
out and buy bread.
This is true. Um, it just, I think maybe because I grew up in a small town where this stuff just didn't exist and it wasn't an option, I'm not used to thinking about these things as being options.
Oh, it's
Like,
totally
even
someone. I would be shocked if the university campus bookstore didn't have an essential oil or two.
I
Like they're everywhere.
don't know that it did. Not in my memory, anyway.
Not ours, yours. And the U of M did.
Did it?
Yes. We were just. And I remember because my dad found it. And he wandered over and said, weirdest find in this store. And I went, that's not normal. He had gotten
All
bored
right.
while I was looking for my textbooks because they paid for my textbooks for my first year. That was, they wanted to contribute to my education. So they
Yeah.
paid for my textbooks my first year.
I bought my textbooks, but the parents paid for the degree.
I paid for my degree. No student loans, no government. I paid for my degree.
I had some late relatives that also left money for a university degree, so I was very lucky.
No, I worked from 16 to my mid 20s to save up enough to go to university. No regrets. I had of a work ethic by the time I got to university, and I didn't
Hmm.
dilly dally. And it shows in my GPA, it shows in my scores, it shows in my interactions, as I'd outgrown a lot of the stuff that you do between 18 and 24
Hmm.
because I did it when I was 18. So like I knew why I was there and I knew what I was doing, so I didn't have a lot of just extra courses for extra courses. So it was nice. It was weird because I was considered a mature student. There were a lot of young people around me, but it was really nice to be able to laugh because all of my personal stories about going home and being way too loaded were private. I made less of a fool of myself on a public stage, which was nice. It also meant when I left university, I had no debt.
That is also a bonus.
Now my
Not
parents did
having
let me
debt.
move home for free, so my parents did let me live with them for free while I was getting my
Yes, I got
education.
to live rent free,
Yeah,
and I did a degree with a really good co op program. So most people actually graduate from that program debt free.
good. I did a humanities degree because it's what I wanted to do. And well, yes, I should have just stayed and continued. I should have just stayed and continued. I should just go back is what I should do. Is I should just figure out how to go back and get my master's and PhD.
I'm definitely going to get degrees just for fun once I'm old enough to do it for free.
65, baby.
I know. Count down the days.
I am so
No.
65 old age security checks and I get to attend university lectures for free. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, it sounds glorious.
Oh my God, yes. And at that point, I'm not filtering anymore. I'm going to be that spicy, racy language great aunt. Done. Done.
Asa's judging me for my lack of shopping. He says, I grew up in a town with just one shop, but moving to a larger town, no problem shopping. Like, fine, okay, I'll say it. I hate shopping. I actually
It does.
despise shopping.
Getting her to go out and get stuff is like pulling teeth.
I hate
It
shopping.
is so hard for me to get her to go do things. She enjoys it once she gets there, so I don't know what sort of like mental block childhood trauma exists in that brain.
You know, I'm having some thoughts in that direction. I can tell you about them
But
later.
but there's got to be something because like for
Oh
me
yeah.
shopping is, but I associate shopping with hanging out with girlfriends and doing fun things like going out, and it's a thing, like it's its own thing, like you get
Yeah, no, shopping
coffee.
was with my mom because small town, and if you can't drive
Oh,
yet or you don't have a
oh,
car, shopping was
no,
always with my mom. And
no, I love shopping with my mom. I really do love shopping with my mom. She believes in breaks. And is
shopping with my mom was not a chill experience.
super content to sit on the bench outside Dollarama while I waited for my Wetzel pretzel order like 2 summers ago, so that I could have cinnamon bite Wetzel pretzels to eat while we shopped in Dollarama because I was the pack mule to carry everything home. Perfectly comfortable with my job. Didn't bother me. Still doesn't bother me. But yeah, you'd get up and you go to the bookstore and you get a cup of coffee with your girlfriend, and then you'd shop for books and have fun, and then you'd go out into the mall, and then you would look for like clothes, or you'd go to the other tea places, or you'd try a new thing of makeup, and then you'd have like lunch. Then you would actually do the shopping part of the day, and then you'd end up back through the bookstore, pick up the books on the way out because they're the heaviest, so you want to pick those up
Okay,
last.
people in chat are with me. Okay, Jen and Karen also do not enjoy shopping. Thank you.
Crazy.
Thank you for supporting my dislike of shopping.
It's so much fun. You can check out the new video games at the video game store.
If it's a
Oh,
bookstore
so good.
shopping, I'm into bookstore shopping.
Malls. I would live in a mall. Live in a mall. So much fun. So much fun. So much fun. You
I
could laugh at
had
new
no
fashion
money and no way to get
trends.
there to spend the no money that I had, so
I started working my 15th summer, so like I've been working a lot. 15th, 16th summer. How old was I when I started working? 15, 16? 16, I think. I think my 16th summer was when I worked Walgreens. And then
oh,
my next job was
break
in the
time.
mall at the bookstore.
I got very
That's
distracted chatting
dangerous.
this time.
That's dangerous.
I got a nose done and 3 sets of horns.
I got 4 1/2 row completed on a sock after detangling it because detangling is
Jen
important.
says I'd go yarn shopping.
Oh yeah, you do yarn crawl.
Yarn
Getting
gaming and con shopping from Lisa. Yes. Yes, those are all good shopping.
getting Diana to pick a thing would require me to take a larger project so I could sit on the couch and wait because there's a lot of debate before
Decisions are
stuff gets
hard.
purchased. Decisions are not the easiest for Diana. Like you make a social event of it. You have fun. It's a chat visit, walking visit, purchase thing visit, look at things visit. Like it's a whole thing.
I
It's a
have
whole thing.
never. No, sorry, with the exception of shopping with you, I have never had that shopping experience with anybody else ever.
Happy to continue to provide that experience for you because it is how I shop. I
Yeah,
don't
no, it was
believe in
always like,
shopping
we're
the
on a
other way.
mission, we're getting these things, and it better be cheap.
Nope. I like looking, I like price comparing, I like trying things on. I like going, you know what? I don't know what that shape's going to do on my body. I'm going to put it on my body and find out.
Clothes
I like
shopping
looking at
with my
things.
mom as a teenager, and she'd be bringing me all this stuff, and I'd be like, I don't like this. I like this other thing, but apparently I can't have this thing. I have to have the thing that you want me to have that I don't like all that much.
No, mom let
Yeah.
me pick my own clothes. So long as they weren't going to break any laws or rules or regulations or be really weird.
I remember it was a whole thing when I wanted fitted pants instead of baggy pants.
What? They're pants.
They weren't even exceptionally tight pants. They were just, I would like fitted pants instead of baggy pants. And it was
Pants.
a whole thing.
My mom faithfully bought my sister's goth face clothing
Oh gosh.
without batting an
I
eye.
could not have had a goth phase. That would never have happened.
My mom let us dye and perm our hair when we were 15. I got my first tattoo at 16. I had cool parents, guys. I am
Oh,
aware I
Jen
had cool
understands me.
parents.
Oh, and Karen says malls make me claustrophobic. I can be in there maybe 30 minutes, then I need a real air. I get that. They're usually very high ceilings, so I don't feel claustrophobic, but I feel the lack of daylight
Oh, have you
after a
not seen the
while.
skylights in malls? You're not paying attention.
Well, it depends on the mall.
Most malls in their center, anything built, post 1980 for sure. And there's a lot have skylights in the middle so they pay less for lighting.
With the added benefit of, hey, daylight. People like daylight because we're plants.
We are plants, yeah. So it's what? What am I looking at?
Jude
Oh,
says clothes shopping is totally overrated. Wood store shopping, on the other hand.
clothes shopping is amazing and it is fun and it is a great way to figure out what works for you. Oh, clothes shopping, good. Fabric shopping, also something I can do for literally hours is fabric shop.
Yarn
Bookstores
shopping,
I don't really
convention
go
shopping,
into. Yarns, bookstores
book
I don't generally go
shopping.
into anymore because I find it depressing. That's
That's completely understandable.
why I don't do that no more.
I want to get the tasting history cookbook. He's got a cookbook. I
I
want it.
know. I
I cleaned
know.
up our like basket of junk at the front door and I found like 3 Indigo gift cards. So we're gonna go at some point and buy ourselves the Tasting History cookbook because Mr. Diana also likes that channel.
Have you do you remember the guy whose reels I keep sharing with you? Did that super simple lemon pie I made this summer?
Yes, I think so.
It goes, fire!
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What's his
yeah.
name? Dylan Hollis.
Yeah. He's got a cookbook. Cooking
I know.
Yesteryear.
Yeah,
Yeah. Equally as delightful. I want digital copies of those.
the
I want
Dylan
digital
Hollis.
copies.
Yes, thank you, Melanie.
Yeah. Oh, I love his channel so much. He's such a
Eggy,
delightful
floof powder,
yeah. Proof
moo
powder.
juice.
Fire! I'm like, can I why couldn't I have learned cooking that way? That would have made cooking way more delightful. I mean, confusing when I tell my sister I need the floof powder, but that's not really a problem for me otherwise. So good. So good. Oh, did you start the break timer?
Oh,
Nope.
the way
Full
I
on
have it set up
distracted.
now, it's actually annoying to set up the break part of the timer, and I'm not going to fight with it
Oh,
right now.
okay.
So it just says break time. We also
Oh,
like
good.
never actually follow the 5 minute break timer,
No, we don't.
so it just says break time right now, and that's how it is.
Now, can I read the pattern I want to read with the way we've got the lights set up so that I've got decent lighting? Ooh, maybe.
Karen
Might
says the
have to
only clothes
blow it up
fights I had
bigger.
with my mom was when it was the mid 90s and she didn't want to let me go to school in ripped jeans.
No,
I
that
didn't
was fine.
understand ripped jeans for quite a while, and then I eventually tried on a pair of ripped jeans in a store, and I'm like, actually, you know what? These look pretty cool.
Um, Ripped jeans are fine. I also ink doodled on my blue jeans. I
Oh, I
still
would have
get looked
got
at
so
funny.
much trouble with if I'd done that.
I ink doodled on everything. I was an artist in high school. Textbooks got brown paper covers, and I inked all over them. My pants, my person, my notes, to get just everywhere. There were doodles and ink drawings everywhere. I was constantly doodling. All right.
Yeah, no,
Now
I
it
would have gotten
says
in so much trouble for that.
bulky yarn. We're gonna do some work on this thing because I
Lisa
can.
wants to get a ramen cookbook. I like cooking with my dad. We were very close. That's so sweet.
Oh, that'd be so lovely.
That would be lovely. My dad doesn't really cook.
My dad does wood stuff. I do wood stuff with my dad. Well,
Karen
I
says we didn't
ask
get
for
ripped
help.
jeans at the store. We had to rip our own jeans. Pre-ripped jeans were for losers. Ah, you gotta have that self-made. This you gotta do it yourself. The DIY. There we go. That's what I'm trying to
Hey,
say.
I turned my old blue jeans into denim skirts
All
when
right.
that came
I
back in the 90s. Is this 7 millimeter and 4 millimeter crochet hook? Also could use a 6 or a 5, 6.5 or 8 millimeter instead of a 7 millimeter. I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
run off
I
for a
have a
minute,
seven
but when I come
millimeter.
back, we'll do sprint number 3.
I think I have an 8 millimeter hook. Hook, not needle. This is a crochet thing. What else we got? Where's to wait for ply
This is
yarn,
officially being a longer break.
which you hold double.
All right, I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. So I need a 7 or 8 millimeter hook. Okay, I can do that. Abbreviations include chain, magic, slip stitches, single crochets, half double crochets, double crochets, treble crochets, increases, decreases, back loop only. I have done all of those before. Okay, we're good. Guys, we're going to start. We're going to start the first, it will not be the last, mushroom bucket bag crochet pattern. So this got posted on the Discord Patreon links, and just, yeah, we all fell in love with it. And then I have it. I have the pattern. So I absolutely need to make a mushroom bag. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to make a white mushroom body with, where'd the other two balls go? And I'm going to hold this dark purple and red together to make a marled mushroom cap top. Oh, that was a lot of slamming of things. So I'm doing those. I pulled out scrap brown yarn for the door. And I have I'm going to use the same brown and some white scrap to make window. But I'm not, you can do, it's a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to be talking a lot about the pattern because you pay for it, which I think is important if it's a paid for pattern. So step one, we're making the base of the bucket. Okay, I need my hooks. Where did I put my hooks? I put them over here? Nope. Did I put them in here? Nope. Sweet, jumping Jehoshaphat. Where are they? Huh. Maybe they're over here. Okay, that works. You look like you're a big arse hook. What is your size? Uh, I want to read this, but I don't know how. Guess what? I'm going to use my phone. I'm going to use my phone, and I'm going to make it do the thing that phones do. Well, that my phone does. And I'm going to open up an app that reads things to me because I need help. I need to figure out how to turn the volume up in this bloody thing.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Are we ready for the next sprint?
Oh, Lord, no.
Yeah, wait, hang on. What am I working on?
I really need to figure out how to turn up the volume inside that lookup app. It's so bloody handy, but it's so darn quiet. So darn
I
quiet.
really want to work on the dice cowl, but I don't think I can do that and read chat and run a stream at the same time. So I think I'm going to go back to the socks. I think I'm going to alternate between socks and Triceratops because I can kind of sort of do that. This Triceratops is a little challenging, but I think I can do that.
This is... Ooh, this is a 10.
Ooh, were you talking about a mushroom bag?
Yeah, I'm gonna start the mushroom bucket bag.
Yeah.
Mushroom
Knitting Purple was asking,
bag.
mushroom bag. Wow, need to go look. BRB.
Uh-huh.
Karen says, cannot wait to see the mushroom bag. I'm also very excited to see the mushroom bag.
I need to find the right hook. This is 10 millimeter too big.
Okay.
You are smaller. Yeah.
All right, got that pattern open. Got this knitting thing over here.
Oddly enough, I suspect the one that's even larger than the 10mm hook will also be too large.
Oop, nope, that's not the way we're going. We're going this way. Haha. Okay, figured it out. All right, we're gonna go into sprint number 3 now.
Ugh,
3, 2, 1, go.
what have I done with you, app? Weird. Open up.
Karen says I'm gonna work
Let's turn
on
down.
my nephew's blanket. It wants to be finished and keeping me from my secret knitting. Definitely got to finish it then.
I don't want to go pro.
I am desperately trying to finish these socks for my dad's birthday, which are on Tuesday, so like literally 3 days from now. And I will be there 4 days from now.
You will. Ugh, I'm gonna have to uninstall and reinstall that app because I don't know what I've done to it. Aren't you here to read my hooks for me?
I'm sorry. I'll be there in a few days. But that doesn't help you right now.
So,
I guess it'll be over a week since I'm there specifically, but yeah. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, I'm gonna have 3 more rows before I'm into the second half of this heel.
no, you're not gonna recognize the print. That's fine. Oh, nose. I have to make a conscious effort to actually replace my great grandmother's plastic crochet hooks with metal ones because the numbers are worn off so much that it's making it difficult to read.
Do you have a needle gauge doodad? I don't know if
Somewhere.
that'll help. Also says just the button band left on my cardigan. That is for tomorrow when it's light. That's exciting though. Almost a finished cardigan.
You say.
I'm very excited to work on the 4 cardigan again. And I think regardless of whether it gets chosen for craft off, I'm going to work on it. Because I've been looking at it all summer like, I really want to work on this, but it's hot and I have other things I need to do. And I still have other things I need to do, but it's no longer hot, and I really,
Well, it
really
says an
want to
8
work on
millimeter
it.
hook. An 8mm hook is okay. An 8mm hook is what I have in my hands, so that's what I'm going to use. Because process of elimination.
Karen says I have a needle gauge for crochet hooks. It's very useful. 2, 4,
Oh, yeah.
6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, this should be my last there and back, and then I'll be on the second half of this heel. Look at me go.
Oh, you and your deadline knitting. Oh, wait, what's this? Okay.
But then when I finally finish these, I can maybe make a pair of socks for myself.
Well, that's what those were supposed to be.
They were supposed to be for me, but then I realized I needed a present for my dad. And he's only got 1 knit thing from me, and he deserves more knit things from me. And he really likes his socks, so he can have more socks.
Oh, that is kind of good inside.
Bless you. Okay, I think this is the last short row. 6, 8, 10.
Uh,
2, 4, 6, 8.
Okay, you are.
Wait, 24, 26. Oh my god, counting. I'm sure this is thrilling to watch. 2, 4,
I'm sure it is.
28, 30, 32, 34.
Uh-huh.
6, 8, 10, 12, 14,
Excellent.
18, 20, 2, 4, 6,
Do this so I don't misplace the one thing. Ah.
Have I done something weird?
Yes.
Well,
I don't
I thought I
actually
should
know.
have 36 stitches.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Knitting Purple says, are you knitting them toe up so the leg is as long as you have time for? Yes.
Now she is. Thanks for putting that thought in her head.
I mean, I like toe up because I find Kitchener's stitch just weirdly tedious. It's
That's
not
fair.
once you get into the flow. It's like, it's fine. I've done it around an entire sweater. It's fine. I just prefer to do it toe up so I don't have to. Because I'll put it off forever and it'll be literally the last thing I need to do for this pair of socks is like Kitchener 10 stitches together. Well, 20 stitches together. And I'll just never do it.
I have literally been wearing sweaters that need to have pockets sewn onto them.
6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20,
Because I won't
22,
bother to stop long enough to
26,
sew the pockets on.
28, 30, 32,
I completely
34,
understand.
35? Duff. I'm supposed to have 36 stitches on each side, but I've got 35 on one and 34 on the other, and neither of those numbers is 36.
Okay. I
How did
need
I
12
do
double
that? Did I
crochets.
drop a stitch somewhere? No, it doesn't look like it. Must have counted wrong. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34. No, that's 35. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 6, 28, 30, 32, and 34. I have 34 on the back and 35 on the front. Neither of those numbers is the 36 that I think there should be. I'm not sure where I've lost 3 stitches. But apparently I have. And we're going to roll with it. Oh, thank you also for linking the mushroom bag.
Also is the reason I have the mushroom bag pattern. Now, let's be honest. When I've done the bag, I will take pictures and send it to Asa and go, do you need to be surprised when you open this for your advent? Or does it need to be in different colors? Inquiring minds want to know.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Well, you know,
All right.
we're
Round
rolling
2
with it.
says.
We're rolling with it.
Oh, I should be
This
up
is
to.
what we're doing. We're
You're
rolling
rolling
with
with
this.
it?
We're rolling with it.
Focus, Smokey.
Asa says, Asa wanted a mushroom bag and didn't want to make it herself.
Yep, that's how Diana gets things too.
I like it, but I don't want to make it.
Yep.
I definitely owe you like a black sweater at this point. Ah, don't drop stitches. We're already missing enough stitches. Do not drop any more stitches.
You're in my chain too, so I need to be in my first stitch because chains don't count. All right. Now.
I
Especially
have
when
a
it
bowl
comes to
of
things like
granola sitting
crochet.
here, and I haven't been eating it. Well, that's distressing. Stitch marker.
I'm also open to other forms of bribery, like lunches and Cliff Bars and like things I don't do on my own.
Fair. And any one of those things is an insanely good deal for a sweater. A handmade sweater.
Why I enjoy the crafting part. I don't necessarily want to be adding to my closet all that much. And yes, I know I've made this project harder than it needs to be by doing it this way. That's fine.
Lisa's saying, it's funny for school friends in D&D, it's mostly I'm older by a few years, gaming a bit younger, and knitting even more younger. D&D is special since I'm the only current who can buy alcohol. Used to have another, but he graduated. We got someone else turning 21 next month. I still find that absolutely wild that it's 21 in America. It's just, it confuses me. Because it's 18 where I grew up.
I am not the youngest person at the table at my D&D table. The youngest human at my D&D table turned 30 this year. I am the youngest female at my table. Because the other lady I play with is in her early 40s. She's a couple of years older than me. But for knitting, it varies wildly. But for my friendships, it varies wildly. Like Diana's 9 years younger than me.
8, I think.
8 years. Somebody math.
Somebody math.
My brain went, if I'm 40 and you're 30 something,
30,
what?
32.
32, that makes it 8 years.
Yep.
But I'm like the youngest friend I talk to consistently, like we talk all the time, is like 30-ish. They're somewhere in their like 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 range. I have friends that I'm legit friends with whose children are my age.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
And it doesn't occur to us that that's an age gap thing for us.
Millie says, oh my god, you're a baby, Diana. I'm not a... I am frequently the youngest person in the room with the crowd that I hang out with, but, you know, I'm not that baby. 32 isn't a baby. Not a baby. Meh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
In my D&D group, for the work one, which I think is the last one I played in, I was not the youngest, but close.
I think the biggest thing is just to find friends who are like you have some things in common, but you don't have everything in common with. Because then that way
you have the right
interesting
things in
conversations. Well, then you can have interesting conversations. Like otherwise, if you are exactly the same as everybody else you talk to, that is, I hate the word echo chamber, but it is accurate.
Yeah.
At different walks and different stages of their life cycle, so that you're not only exposed to one thing because that's all you're surrounded by. I'm gonna have to count because I've lost track of how many double crochets I had in this ring.
Lisa says you're not a baby compared to me. There, I'm not the youngest person in the room. Well, in the virtual room. I am both the youngest and oldest person in this physical room. In that I am the only person in this physical room. But I'm not the youngest in the virtual
Sure.
room. So there, haha. And then other people in chat are like, I've got kids in their 20s. You've got kids that are probably about my younger sibling's age. But it's cool
Oh,
to like
yeah.
I made friends with people and then found out like after like a year and a half like wait, sorry, you're like
There we go.
more than a decade older than me and I just like didn't
There we go.
didn't
It gets
register.
weird because it's like a lot of my friends in their late 30s and early 40s have young children. So, like, you don't understand what it's like to be living with a 3-year-old. I'm like, oh, yeah, I do. My niece is 17, and I lived with her and her mom and me lived together. And I did university when that child was a toddler. Because we moved to the
Yeah.
city when she was 3, and I started university when I moved to Winnipeg. So I did midterm
You do know.
exams and exams with sick child under 5 at home with a sister and a dad and 2 jobs and a mom. Like, no, no. I understand the breadth of work that goes into raising children. I was a primary caretaker. I did some of those duties. Did I do all of those duties? No, we villaged it. We villaged it. We spread that work around so nobody had to do all of it because that's too much. But if
Yeah.
the little one was sick, dad and I are the warmest. And when you're warm, your chest relaxes and you can breathe. So I would be studying for an ancient world exam, reading to her like the life of Caesar while she's snot drooling all over my shoulders. It's like, no, I had those life experiences. Was
Yep.
there things I got to skip? Yes, I'm still an aunt. I didn't do diapers. Wasn't my child. But did I do all of the crouched over walking? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My back still
Mm-hmm.
hurts to think about
Mm-hmm.
it. I can still sing the entire Mickey Mouse Clubhouse theme song and the Little Einsteins, plus Dora, and probably a few others if I thought about it, because they're still stuck in my head.
They'll
Still
be
stuck in
stuck
my
there
head.
forever. The other brain cells will go, but those ones will stick around
It'll
forever.
be here when the rest of me leaves. I'm still going to be able to sing the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse song.
Oh yeah.
I'm in fact singing it in my head right now as we speak. And the Little
Pete says
Einstein song.
the problem with having friends associated with an activity is if you can no longer do the activity, you can often lose contact with those people.
You need to build networks and connections and things. Like
Yeah.
Diana and I, if we had just stuck to what we were when we first met, we wouldn't be friends now.
No, that's true.
But and I suspect it's more me than Diana. I was like, no, I like you, so we're going to build other connection points. So it doesn't matter if one connection point is something we grow out of or falls off. We have other ones to pull from. Otherwise, you do because you've changed as a person. It makes total sense. I have the honor of having the 3 closest friends I was with in high school. I am still exceedingly good friends with, and they're all boys. But most of my other high school friends, we don't share enough common points anymore. So we're like nostalgia friends.
Yeah.
Like we can shoot the snot for what it used to be, but there's no real alignment now. But those three
If you
boys
if you
who
met today, you wouldn't be friends, kind of
we
thing.
would like, we'd be nice, we'd know each other, but we'd be like part of that extended social circle where you're like, oh yeah, I know, like that's Bob. Yeah, like we used to, do that, like that sort of level. But when so me, Mr. F, Mr. D, all live in the same city. We all live and work here. Mr. D is a young childhood educator. Mr. F is a professor in economics. And Mr. T lives in Toronto, but his parents live here in the city. So him and his wife and their two boys come into town every once in a while. And we always get together for dinner. These are 4-hour long dinners. And if you sit
Well,
and
yeah,
do
you
the
got to catch
math,
up.
I met these boys in grade 9 when I joined the newspaper club. And it started with one point of contact. I am now 40 and I am the youngest in that group by a whole year, but I am the youngest in that group. And we're still friends. And 2 of the 4 are married, and 2 of the 4 have children, and 2 of the 4 are not married. One of the 4 isn't male, but we've all worn sparkly shirts. Like it just we've
You
all
have
done
experiences that
stuff.
bind you together.
Yeah. And we share stories back and forth, and we express interest in other things, and like we've watched the evolution of each other, and we've allowed for that space. So like Mr. D was liberal when we grew up, he is conservative now. So like allowing for that differences, but not a single person at that table has the same political viewpoint or the same faith point or the same eating habits. Like we're all wildly different in areas where people are like, oh, I couldn't possibly because it wouldn't work. We still love to sit and chat. Mr. T has a comp sci major, master's, I believe. I think he
Wow.
has his master's in comp sci. So I'm the least educated, but I usually end up having to give the most advice. So like my intelligence score is fine, but my wisdom score is better. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
My dex is definitely my dump stat. We've all watched me try to engage in physical environments. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. Dex is my dump stat. But it's like, but none of us get mad when we're different. It's never a problem to make adaptations and changes for things. But again, multiple points of interest. And we've cultivated those multiple points. So long as you do that, it's your friendships can grow and move with you. But if you don't, then it's like it was meant for a season and a reason, and you let it go because it was what it needed to be.
I think that's a
What am
very
I doing?
wise, mature way of looking at it. Oh, hello, Liz. Liz is in
Hey,
chat now.
Liz. Well, all the people I hung out in university, I only talked to one. And if we're honest about it, we mostly still communicate with each other because we have the same very weird historical bent for history jokes. Like we exchange Victorian insults, which don't make sense to anybody else, but bring us great delight. So good. But like, we live vastly different lifestyles.
Living couple
Her
says
three,
being different is what makes life interesting. We need to listen and
yeah,
learn.
yeah. Well, that's how you gain more knowledge and experience. You're more flexible, capable of grasping and understanding and managing change, which is that's all life is. What
Yeah.
instruction am I reading? Increase all the way around. I did that.
I super
Chain two.
appreciate my friend group that I have because of that one job, but that's my core friend group right now from a workplace.
Okay.
But why not?
Work
Um,
is a fairly common one people rely on, which makes sense because you're the shared work life. It's finding ones outside of work gets complicated after high school because like we're only taught to make friends in environments we spend lots of time in.
yeah. Actually,
So making
huh,
friends
now that I'm
outside
thinking
that
about
is
it,
difficult.
it's because we all worked at the
Difficult.
same place and we played D&D together at work.
Yep.
But then we just kept in touch as we all started to leave. So none of us works there anymore and we just are all still in touch.
Yeah.
But the root of this thought was just differences in people. And yeah, we're all like quite different people and we have like
Yeah.
sometimes like different, rather spicy takes on some things. And I love this group so much because we can have those discussions and we stay polite and respectful and like present views and
That's the
It's just,
dream.
it's like, yeah, so like,
That's the dream.
we get a little spicy sometimes, but it's always so polite and respectful, and we're always still friends after.
Oh yeah.
And I really appreciate that. That's like the first demonstration I've seen of that in my entire life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's just that's the life, right? Like that's the goal.
Lisa says that's kind of why I still hang out with old students and not other grad students. Yeah. What is this? I split a stitch and that's just too bad. Oh, the sprint's done.
Okay, I'm gonna finish
Beep,
this
beep,
row.
beep. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Mostly because I'm doing a increase
I have
row,
two
and
stitches
it would
left.
be quite annoying not to finish my increase row.
There we go. All right, I am well into the second half of my heel.
Oh, good.
Of my sock that somehow has 3 stitches less than I think it should. Not sure how I managed that because I'm so certain it had the right number of stitches when I finished the toe.
Maybe you lost stitches slowly over time?
Well, but then there should be like dropped stitches evident somewhere, and there isn't.
Okay. Whoever is
So
leaving the
I think I
building
must have
today
just
is
like
doing a door slams.
counted wrong at some point, or like meant
Oh,
to do another increase row and I didn't. The only
what?
saving grace is that by 2 at a time, I've done them exactly the same way, so they will be exactly the same.
Oh, I love two at a time for that reason. So
They will
good.
be the same.
So good. Ah! I know how to crochet. It's fine.
I believe you.
This is addictive. I think I could keep working on the mushroom bag.
I am going to eat some of this granola that is now mush.
I got a link for a granola bar recipe that I didn't go see for finding things. So
Well, you
smart.
gotta
That
make
made
the
sense in
granola
my head.
bars.
I haven't made granola bars a coon's age. A
Karen
coon's
says you can
age.
increase a couple of stitches after the heel if he needs more room in the ankle leg. Yeah, it's more like I don't think 3 stitches is gonna make or break the sock. Is literally three
Just add,
stitches. It'll be fine.
just add the stitches back in. Done.
But it doesn't even matter because it's not a patterned sock. It's just a vanilla sock, so it doesn't even matter until I go to do the ribbing at the cuff.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
just
but if you put them in,
make it
if you
work.
put them in down where your heel is, that's what I'm looking for. They're just you've got that little bit of extra space if you need it.
Yeah, I suppose.
And then knowing you the way I know you, you're not then confused at your ribbing as to why you're 3 stitches short.
Well, ideally, I'm at the ribbing in a few days, so I probably won't forget this conversation. Never mind, you're right. I will put them in after the heel.
No, no, we've had conversations where you haven't remembered 20 minutes later.
This is true. You're correct.
Just put the stitches in now and then you don't have to worry about it. But
Jude says
I do the same thing.
I have to choose between back shaping on a jumper, granny squares, or heels for the next sprint. Don't want to do the jumpers, that requires brain.
Okay, so it's
Well,
granny squares or heels.
granny squares or heels.
Yep. Oop. I'm
Granny
happy
squares
working
sounds
on
like
the
the least
mushroom
thinky
bags.
option. I agree. I'll say granny squares.
Granny squares are the least thinky option. All right.
Not that heels are super thinky, but they might require a little bit of counting.
Just a touch. There you go. I
If
got
only
that
to
round.
discover you're 3 stitches short from where you thought you were.
Oh God, I hate when I do that. Absolutely hate. Jam.
Watch me mysteriously have 3 stitches too many on the other sock.
That'd be hilarious. Look, I have a circle.
Woo!
We're so proud. And well, yes, I probably could go denser for a stiffer fabric. It would hurt my hand too much, so I'm not going to do that. Not happening. Oh, I've almost eaten through random yarn I had wrapped around the front of this ball. The knot is getting impressive, but that's fine. It's a problem I'll deal with later.
All right, I'm going to attempt to go back
Oh,
to the little red triceratops.
no word of a lie.
What?
If it's bugging you about the amount of work that I have done for sweaters that you now own,
Hmm.
I will happily not cook dinner tonight. We've done that before. I will happily not cook dinner tonight.
All right.
Because then I can just craft the rest of the day and run the dishwasher for the second time because the mysterious Mr. B was over. So obviously I have more dishes than I expect because
Yeah, well, you have a
somehow when we're
tiny
cooking,
little dishwasher.
it explodes. I have an apartment-sized dishwasher in my apartment-sized
You
apartment.
have like a one person sized dishwasher, like one
I'm one
person who
human.
cooks at home, which you
It's
are.
perfect for me. So that would be great because then I'm not running the dishwasher and then loading it again tonight. I can just run it one more time and then it's done till tomorrow.
All right. Well, we can discuss food orders after.
Yeah, this is my happy face. I don't have to cook. Yes. Great cooking. And I like cooking. That's the kicker, guys. It's he eats so much, there should have been 3 meals. It's fine. It's fine.
Knitting Purple's asking if your mushroom bag's going to be lined.
No, no. I don't think so. I could, but I don't think I will. Mostly because I don't have a cute cotton mushroom fabric to put in it.
It would call for a cute cotton mushroom fabric. But
And
also,
I
it's got
don't
the little
have one.
hole in the window for the yarn to come out. I don't know if you're doing that part.
It's an option you can do. I'm not going to do it for this first one, but I might do it for the second one. But if I want a denser one, because like it's a mushroom drawstring bag, guys, it's meant for knitting projects and crochet projects. It's not going to be holding anything so heavy that it's going to stretch out. And I'm making it with acrylic yarn.
Yeah, that should be fine.
I'll be fine. I'll
Karen
be
just
fine.
needs
I
to
was
find
so
some
good.
acrylic yarn for the mushroom bag. Yes.
Oh yeah, this is a perfect acrylic project and scrap acrylic too, right? So it's like, oh, I'm gonna pull out all my one balls of why, because I did other things, right? So I ended up making a lot of mushroom bags. We'll see. I have Halloween to craft for. Though, always on lookout for more free crochet Halloween crafting things or Halloween craft DIYs
Mm-hmm.
because reasons. It's because I'm going to do Halloween all the way through till Christmas. So, like, I'm DIY Halloweening till December.
You should, if you're making like little ghosties or whatever, you should make like little hats to put on your ghosties once it's Christmas time.
I have to because I have to decorate the whole Christmas tree. So, I need a tree's worth of small Halloween amigurumis that I can turn into Christmas ornaments. And I don't want all of the same. I want a hot mess medley. Hot mess medley. And trust me, if I had the money, I would already own the official Nightmare Before Christmas knitting book.
It
I
looks
need
like
to
a really
see.
solid book. Honestly, I want to find a print one so I could like flip through it first. But like,
Yeah, yeah, no, like it looks. I need a digital copy of because vision, right? But it's. I know. I'm
I'll
gonna
find a
put it on my.
physical copy.
I'm gonna put it on my Christmas wish list. Is what I'm gonna do. I have the weirdest things on my Christmas wish list. I have wireless uh microphones that'll work with the phone or the computer. I have a
Karen's not having it today.
Pullman bread loaf pan. It's a
Sorry, a
very
what bread loaf pan?
a Pullman loaf bread. It is the classic when bread was made commercially for the first time loaf pan. So it's
Oh,
long rectangle with the lid on the top
right. So you get a perfect rectangle bread.
with very little to no crust. And I want one. I want one. But let's be honest, I would be terribly amused if I got an electric bread slicer because I am that kind of human. So I'm starting to build like the Amazon cart wish list So I've been putting things in there that are just wild and wacky and wonderful and not necessary for my base existence, but would be delightful to own, like a lemon juicer. I don't need a lemon juicer. I juice lemons just fine. But the idea of
But it
sticking
would
it
be
in the little
nice.
yellow thing and squishing it just appeals to me. It's how I ended up with a garlic press.
Jude has
9 times out
a
of
Pullman
10, I
loaf
don't
bread
use.
tin also on her Christmas list.
Yeah, like, wouldn't that just be fun?
Oh, also says, is it allowed to ask for a little bit larger mushroom?
Yeah, yeah. Let me make this one first. But I don't
Knitting
see why
Purple
not.
says, oh, how about crochet paper chain in Halloween colors?
Oh, that'd be cute. The idea is the handmade house, right? So, as much as I can, I want to start making things or DIYing things by hand, reducing my expenditures and stuff. Like, a super large wish list is a Lomi because it would turn my kitchen scraps and my cardboard and my recyclables into compost dirt for me in the apartment.
Should
So I
probably
kind of
start
really
the
want
timer
one.
for the next sprint, hey?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All
So
right, sprint the
there's
fourth. Let's go.
there's big wish list items. There's a thing like a food processor. I love vegan cooking. Do you know how many things I can't do because I don't have a food processor?
Food processor does make it easier.
And it doesn't matter that I can do it with the immersion blender and the things I have. I'm tired of using this much time to do these things. I already hand wash my clothes. I already make all of the bread that I consume. I'm already doing a lot of stuff from scratch. I don't need to live like it's 1910, even though I have a treadle sewing machine from like that age. I can use electricity and new age appliances. It's
It's
okay.
newfangled electricity.
It's okay. I can do these things and have that balance. So like I wanna do that because I need to free up some time is what it is. I spend enough time doing the basics that it's cutting into my crafting time.
We can't have that.
I cannot have that.
Absolutely not.
So I'm asking for things. And I'm asking for like super base staples and stuff. So like I'm asking for just like, you know what, just makes my life easier if I don't have to buy this. It's a small thing. It's got a low price point. Works better because budgets are a real life thing. We hear me say it every week, and it's true every week. Okay, so if I did round three, round four, oh my God, is a continuation of round three with one extra double crochet. Who knew?
Lisa asks, would you get a knitting machine?
I would love a knitting machine. I'm not sure I could do one of the super new knitting machines. Like, does that make sense? Like the ones with the LED screens and all the buttons, because I can't read screens anymore. But a older sewing or knitting
Yeah,
machine.
like the fully mechanical ones?
Either the fully mechanical ones or the ones that are just into the electric side, where they'll do things, but it's like super basic. I'd love to because there's a lot of vintage patterns and stuff that are knit back and forth in the flat that I could make in black with a knitting machine. Same with like a circular sock machine. I was actually trying the circular sock machine when we were out in Bigger, Saskatchewan. One of the ladies had one of the antique ones, and I could do it without looking because I could feel the times all the way around. And it was just a matter of knowing where your start one was, is counting around. And she did a heel. So you can go toes, heels, and cuffs. She showed me how to set up for ribbing and everything.
Oh, wow.
I could do a whole sock, and they were given to visually impaired people to knit socks for the war effort. So, like, I know they're an accessible piece of technology. But I want one of those super old school cast iron. If I run my toe into it, I'll break my toe ones because I don't want to knock it over ever. And that's the best way to avoid that. it just, it just is. Just is. So, yeah. There's lots of various pieces of tech that I'd love to have. Where am I going to put all this stuff? Same place I'm going to put my standing, walking, spinning wheel.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, people. All right. I need to, what does it say? What?
Ouch. Oh, I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this wrong.
Are you yelling at me from the window?
Ah,
Why are you yelling at me from the window?
this is
You
such
don't
a
have to
struggle.
stay in the window. You can leave the window if you decide you're done with the window. You're not
Oh,
tied to. No, okay, we're gonna go
oh,
back
it's
and look
moving.
back out the
We're
window.
moving. Oh, we're moving.
You don't fit back there. Can we have this? You're too fat. Where are you going? Get over to the sewing table where you're going. I don't want you. Mother
Okay,
doesn't love you
single
anymore.
crochet. Half double crochet.
Stop petting the microphone. He does it. You don't. Hey, get out from behind there. Go backwards or go forwards and make up your mind.
No, never.
Seriously. You're preventing my crocheting.
Oh, come on.
Go sleep on the couch. I need you
Split
to
some
move so I
yarn.
can. I need you to move so I can fix the.
Come on. Get in the thingamajig. There we go. Oh. Uh-oh. We lost a Jocelyn. Yeah. I imagine the cat has unplugged something and Jocelyn will be back shortly. Whoops. Guess you're stuck with me for a bit. I'm looking forward to that message. So how's everybody doing? How's the sprint going? The tame toddler caused a few problems. Yup. That's delightful. Way to go, Phaedra. Way to interrupt the podcast. The cat hater. I mean, I feel like the cat would eat the computer if given the chance. If she could figure out how to eat the computer, I think she would. I hope she's not fully knocked the thing over and caused an absolutely massive disaster. Depending on what kind of disaster has occurred. This could be bad. I suspect it's just something hit the keyboard and it hit the button to end the call. Or leave the call. I'm still in the call. And Jocelyn initiated the call. Whoa! Lol. Wait. Here we go. The call just ended. Because Jocelyn's not in it anymore and she initiated the call. Cool. So we're gonna hang out. And hopefully Jocelyn's able to come back. Oh, there it is. Okay, she's calling me back. 1 minute, guys. Disasters abound. Amazing. Phaedra is just joyful. Oh no. Okay, now we have the problem where Streamlabs doesn't want to let Zoom use my camera. This could get fun. 1 minute. This sprint is just shot. I'm gonna leave the timer running. The timer is still running. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna pause this timer. Pause the timer, because this, we'll come back to this sprint with 17 minutes left. Because I'm gonna have to do something to make Zoom recognize my camera. Even though Streamlabs is already using my camera. You're back. Okay, hang on 1 second. Let me make it so that people can see you, but then they won't be able to see me. So, one second.
Second.
1 second. Okay, they can see and hear you
Cats.
again.
Cats. Tech
And they can
drama.
hear me.
Cat neck drama.
Yeah, what happened?
She
Before I go futzing around and causing more problems.
restarted the computer by sitting on the keyboard.
Yeah, I figured it was something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so my streaming software
Yes.
has taken control of the camera and doesn't want to let Zoom use it.
Yeah, it
And
does
normally
that.
we get around this by I turn off the streaming software,
Mm-hmm.
but if I turn off the streaming software, the stream ends, so I can't
Oh,
do that.
we're gonna have to fiddle.
We're gonna have to fiddle.
Yikes. Okay. Sorry, guys. My cat sat on my keyboard.
So I wonder if I unplug and replug.
Ooh, sometimes.
Sometimes. No, no, that's not it. That's not it. Um. Okay, hang on. If I press this button and then I can press that
Can you
button.
leave the no, because you'd have to it's the streaming that goes through to YouTube. Because we're not going straight from Zoom to YouTube. My thought won't work. Is the conclusion I've come to.
Haha! Okay, got it. I got it.
Okay.
It's because I have I have a scene in the streaming software that uses the camera, and apparently it just
Auto
always
picks it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It so oh jeez. Sorry guys. Um it yeah, Streamlabs just claims the camera so that Zoom can't use it. Streamlabs is a hog, basically. And I have this really fun problem where I was trying to get alert noises to play on my Twitch stream,
Yes.
and they absolutely will not go through these earbuds. I
No?
absolutely cannot get the alert sounds to play through these earbuds. But if I'm using my speakers or my other headphones, it works fine.
So it's literally
It's
not
just these headphones.
not allowed with those ones specifically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm solving the problem of I'll just use my wired headphones when I want to be able to hear alert sounds.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. We're back. We have sound. We have picture. Fixed it.
For the record, window right behind the camera. And I leave a mouse pad down because I use old gaming mats as mouse pads. So she can lie behind the computer and look out the window. When it's open, it looks out of the gas station. It's nothing exciting, but it amuses her. Instead of getting off on this side, where there
there's
be
space.
plenty of space because that's her means of egress, that's how she gets up there. She came around behind this way, and right behind the monitor on this side is my tower. Now the tower is
Yeah.
up because if I put it underneath, I can't see anything. So if anything goes wrong and I have to unplug something, I have to unplug everything and start from scratch because I have to pull the tower all the way out to see it. Because again, light's a problem and everything under a table is just a dark black hole where things go to die and I don't know what's there. So the tower
Yep.
lives on the top of the computer. So she came through a space that's meant for a cat half her size.
Jeez. And then sat on the keyboard.
And then sat on the keyboard. Usually she sort of just wanders through and my monitor's a TV screen. Pushes the TV screen forward a little bit and then continues this way towards the sewing table. We didn't do that this time. Across the printer onto the antique sewing table, then down this way. Then we stare at the cube unit and then we get off. I'm waiting till she figures
Good job,
out
cat.
that she can go from her cat tree up and over my dress mannequin onto the table over here. That'll be a delight when she figures that one out. No, you don't need a snack.
Phaedra wanted to make you pay attention to her, not tech.
Always.
Karen says this break has given me time to try my crumble and ice cream. Why did I not put raisins in there? That would have been perfect. I disagree, but
I
to each
disagree.
their own.
But yes, if raisins in your crumble,
Respectfully disagree, but
if you like
I know a lot of
raisins in your
people like
crumble,
raisins.
go for it.
All right, I'm going to resume this sprint timer now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was on me, guys.
No, that was on Phaedra. That was not your fault.
I am its human.
Okay.
Oh, can
Doing
you
a
just
half
imagine
double
her at
crochet.
Christmas, like after Christmas, when I got two new upholstered chairs? She's sleeping in one chair and I'm crafting in the other chair. How freaking adorable are we gonna be?
Very.
So cute.
Oh, come on, come on.
Remind
Do
me
the
to
thing. There we
ask
go.
you about January when we're done this. And now that I said it, I'll
I
remember.
haven't got as far as January. I'm open to suggestions.
Okay. I just have to verbalize it or I'll
Here, you don't need
forget.
to be. That's totally fair. Yeah, we're still working out the December plan. I have not got to January yet.
That's fair. My schedule is fairly flexible. There's not always like a ton of stuff going on, so it's usually not too big of a deal to sort of maneuver around. So like this coming third, I'm busy. Like on the third Tuesday, I'm going to be busy. I'm
Mm-hmm.
watching election results in the evening. That's what I'm doing because I want to know, and I'm invested in this stuff. Though I did appreciate the guys on the radio pointing out that showing up and refusing your vote or showing up and not voting for anybody, like purposely wrecking your ballot,
Mm-hmm.
says just as much as voting for someone. If your options are so crappy that you hate all of them, showing up and refusing your ballot is recorded as showing up and refusing your ballot. So you're literally telling the government of Canada that none of this works for you. None of this works for you.
So you just like show up and they check you off, and then you like, I would like to formally
Refuse
refuse
my
my
ballot.
ballot.
Yeah. And then you leave. It's
Huh? I
marked
didn't
in a
know that was an
column.
option.
It's marked in a column. I will purposely wreck a ballot so it's not counted if I don't like any of my options. It's
Hmm.
important because it's marked down, so it's like, yeah, I mean you got the majority, but like 30% of the people who showed up didn't vote for anybody, so you don't have the
We showed
mandate.
up. We voted. Our vote was for none of this.
Yeah, our vote was for none of this. So like we voiced our opinions, and our opinions are nope, try again. You failed. I'm like, oh, it didn't occur to me that people don't know you can do that.
I didn't know.
I have a
Oops.
provincial election in this province on Tuesday, guys. I've already voted early because why in the world would I stand in line on voting day when I get a whole week to go with the advance polls? And you're in and you're out.
Yeah, like you show up
There's
and you're out
like
again in like 5 minutes.
no waiting. Why in the world would I go on election day and potentially have to wait 5 or 10 minutes when I can get a coffee, walk in, walk out, get a donut, and go? Like I'm done. It's just whoop. Next. So good.
Oh yeah, Elisa was asking what the election is for, but yes, provincial election.
It's provincial for us. For me anyway.
Yeah, there's no election thingies going on over here.
The province of Manitoba is picking its new provincial people.
Are there any? I don't know how political we want to get. Are there any good choices? I suspect that answer is no.
The two primary lead candidates who would like you to believe that there are no other options are the same options, so not so much. But
Not a lot of choice.
there is choice, but you have to know, right?
Yeah.
And as usual, like if you're a member of the big parties, the two big parties, whatever province you happen to be in, you will have two that are like just the two big ones. Technically,
Yeah.
we're a multi-party system. There's what, four?
We're like technically supposed to be like a 3 or 4 party
No, not technically.
system.
We're multi-party. We're allowed to have them, but
Well,
you
yeah.
have to reach a certain threshold to be counted. And I think right now we have four who hit the threshold. No, five that hit the threshold. Do Green hit the threshold?
I think Green has finally hit
The
the threshold
threshold?
for a few seats.
So then for us it'll be federally conservative, liberal, NDP, Bloc, because the Bloc do because of Quebec
Yeah. Well, Bloc only really has
has
any
support
does
Quebec,
only does stuff in
Quebec,
Quebec.
but
Bloc is only Quebec.
they have enough. They're a juggernaut in Quebec. And Green, I think, are the four or five we get to federally we choose from. But I had in my writing, I had conservative, NDP, liberal, Green, and Keystone, which is like the local grassroots one here. So like I had all the options, but liberals aren't in every riding in Manitoba, Greens aren't in every riding, and Keystone isn't in every riding, but like every riding has a NDP or conservative. So like the two big juggernauts in your province, you will tend to have a full party slate to like they have somebody everywhere, but not necessarily for the other groups. I was delighted to discover I had more than two options. If there had not been more than two options, I would have gone in and refused my vote.
Karen says last election I stood in line for an hour. Ooh. And in the UK, you can request a postal vote.
Yeah, is
I
that
feel like
cool?
you can. I think you can do that in Canada, but only if you meet like thresholds for like disability or something. Or like I don't live in the country right now, I cannot physically show up to vote.
Living abroad.
Living abroad,
Yeah,
yes, there we go.
yeah.
That's the
Canadians
word.
who live and work abroad get mail votes, get to do mail votes. We did. I had electronic this time, not paper. Which I mean doesn't help the poor person who still helps me because somebody else knows who I voted for because I can't read the screens anymore than I can read the paper.
Yep.
Oh, you didn't change a thing for me. Somebody else still knows who I vote for, but that's fine. You did caused all that drama. Now you're gonna lick my toe and make it better. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, scratchy tongue on toe, ticklish. Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then
I am paying
1,
for
2,
my
3,
early
4, 5,
lazy.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Haha, I actually did it right. I actually did it right.
It's additional work now. Fine. It's fine. Do you know what? I could make a bigger bag. I would just hold 3 strands instead of 2 strands and use a larger hook. Can totally make a bigger bag also. Though, let me tell you, when the AI is reading your name on my phone,
Mm. Does it struggle?
Asa is a posterior.
Sorry, what? Oh dear.
My AI
Oh
is
no.
convinced that it's a slight off pronunciation of a person's posterior.
Oh no.
Oh, the AI and me. Oh, yeah. There are just some things where I'll be watching those. Because you watch the ads on Instagram Reels, and I know immediately if it's a computer generated voice. I know
Mm-hmm.
because it makes stupid little mistakes, and I pick them up because I hear the voice all the time. It just delights me. I'm like, how are people don't understand your scam?
Also says, "Oh, I can be a total
Posterior.
AAAAAAS."
I'm always like, what? Are you just pretending that second A isn't there?
I
Well,
just have to look up how to do a bobble stitch,
I do it on my disc.
which I get confused between bobble and popcorn.
That's fine. They are slightly different, but they're weird stitches. Um,
There we go. It's a 4 double crochet bobble. It's the kind that has the double crochets.
okay, yeah, that's a double
This
crochet
is
bubble.
helpful.
It actually helps me.
Yes, because and puff stitch. That's the other one I
Puff
was
stitch
confused
is
with. It. There's
different. Yeah,
bobble,
puff,
popcorn, and
puff.
puff,
Yeah, they're
and they're
different.
all different.
Different. But on my phone, I've set up the accessibility part. So when I two finger swipe from the bottom of my screen up, I get a little play bar menu. And if I push play, and the app allows my phone to do so, and Discord does, it will read the chunk of messages on my screen from whatever chat section I've highlighted. So I can start at the start of like 24 new messages. Click that first thing and it just reads that chat box thread screen. It just reads the thread screen. Though the downside is I get the name and the time of every single message, and it's auto generated AI, so all the mispronunciations. And it gets a little confused with knitting terms. But otherwise, it does fine. Names, not so great with names. You should have heard it try to pronounce that sheepheads thing that Elsa posted. And links. I get the
Try.
whole link is read out to me. The
Oh yeah,
whole link.
https semicolon slash slash www,
Uh-huh.
as though it's the late 90s on the PBS channel.
Uh-huh. The whole thing gets read to me. I tune out. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Whenever I have to actually write out the front part of a URL, like the HTTP part, it's
Yep.
always that voice on the PBS channel that was reading out the website, like, this station is supported by blah 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 and viewers like you, and but you could go to like http, there was no s at that point, semicolon slash slash www, and that's it's that voice in my head
Oh.
every time.
Only I get it now all the
Lisa
time.
says you had PBS. Yeah, we had
PBS
public
broadcasting
broadcasting
system.
stations. There's
Yep.
Yeah,
PBS,
we have our regional
and
stations.
CBC, and the regional ones. If you're lucky enough to live close to a res, sometimes you get res radio. That's what I still hate about.
Ooh, never. I have no idea what that sounds like.
It's just radio programming. It's just, it's just a different radio program.
Radio was never a big thing for us.
Love radio. Radio's so helpful.
Kind of want to get a ham radio license.
Just cause.
Oh, also saying try have it pronounced. Okay, ASE, but the A has some kind of little symbol above it that makes it that I don't know what that's supposed to sound like. But it's A with a thingy on top, SE.
Why?
I don't know why the timer keeps flickering, guys. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, I never see the
I'm
timer,
gonna
so.
have to troubleshoot that. Bubble. Okay. Do one and
What are we?
wait.
1, 2, learning grace.
Yes. Okay.
Ooh,
One,
someone's playing the music real loud.
two. And now we do another bubble. One.
Felt like the apartment building was gonna fall over earlier today.
Ooh.
There was like 7 or 8 motorbikes out of the lights,
Ooh.
and they were made a big rumbly sound. I was like, "What in the world is going on here?" Figured it out.
I didn't do this other bobble right. Oh my
Took
god,
a hot
I'm
second.
the worst. I didn't do this other bobble right.
Okay. I know I'm
I need a
paying for
bobblier bobble.
You need a bobblier bobble?
I need a bobblier bobble.
Okay. I need scissors.
There we go. That's a bobblier bobble. Trust me, it's a bobblier bobble.
I don't know about you, babe. Some days I will.
Okay, so it's the other way to write Asa's name. It's the same way to pronounce. Okay.
Okay. I'm pretty sure.
Also spells it with a double A,
It's
but with the doodad on top is the really old-fashioned way to do it. And Karen said it's so the rest of us can tell it's Scandinavian and super cool.
I mean, obviously.
Clearly.
Bob, if you're watching, you don't see me doing this. I am absolutely not using my pinking shears to cut yarn.
Uh-huh.
Because that would be bad.
Sewists look away now.
Look away now. Here we go. I love my mom's pinking shears. They're right-handed. So I also simultaneously hate my mom's pinking shears.
I understand.
Because they're right-handed. And I'm left-handed. It's a problem for me.
Oh, Melanie's off for supper. Have a great night.
Night.
You too. Have a great night.
Have fun. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Which really doesn't take a lot off the list when I think about it.
I mean, that pretty much only takes eat corn off the list.
And eggs.
And eggs.
That's a bad idea. If your tummy does what my tummy does, it will not appreciate it.
I have a swing dance party tonight.
Ooh, that'll be
I was
fun.
gonna go to.
Was
Yeah.
going to
I
go
think Bee's
to?
coming too. Sorry?
Was going to go to? You are going to go to.
I'm going to. I had in the past planned on going.
Okay. And B's going with you? That'll be fun.
I think so.
Well, I hope she
She
does.
was asking if I wanted to go to Michael's with her today, and I'm like, I do, but I have to do this.
Go to Michael's tomorrow after the live.
Well, she's already. Because she lives in another town that's a while away,
Oh,
so if
okay.
she's coming in for the dance thing and going to Michael's and stuff.
Do it all at once. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a trip in. I don't know how far out of Waterloo she is with her bed and breakfast.
It's about an hour the other way of Toronto.
Okay,
So it's a fair drive. And that's not quite an hour, it's just under an hour,
that's fine. That's
depending on how much you respect speed limits.
it's the same commute for anywhere across the city of Winnipeg.
Uh, kinda. Except this is an hour not on the highway.
Yeah. The length of time is the same. You just don't stop as often. Oh, I'm gonna have to count. I might not have the right
Also says we
number of
cannot stop at Z for the alphabet,
switches.
so we have the combined AE, the O with a slash, and the A with the thingy on top. Which I know all have names and I don't know what they are.
Out of the mouth of somebody who speaks English with the thingy on top. Oh yeah. So in the blood bowl. Nope, wrong group. In the D&D group Discord, one friend comes in and goes, "What's that one movie that Stings in with this?" And you know, just a super vague description and sparkles. Other dude replies, "What?" So they talk back and forth and
Oh, break time.
figure out who it is, and it's not even Sting. It's David Bowie. How in the world, from a 1.5 sentence long vague description, my friend got David Bowie in a completely different movie? I don't know.
Mmm.
My reply, I
And
think,
eyes and
was, it's
horns.
a good thing I wasn't asked this question because my response would have been the other white guy. Not a thing
Alright.
I do well.
Got my eyes prepared for the next sprint that I'm gonna do on this little Triceratops,
Oh, right, because
but
you're flipping back and forth. I
I am flipping back and
opened.
forth.
I clicked the wrong button.
But there's a little nose and a frill and his two little feet.
I'm supposed to have how
See, I
many?
needed bobbly or bobbles, so his little feet stuck out,
Okay, his feet are cute.
aren't they?
Those are adorable. I need to count.
Do you want bigger eyes, smaller eyes, or no eyes?
10, 11, 12.
I'll wait.
I can stop at certain points in chat. I don't know, whatever will look better.
Alright,
You have a whole box of the things.
I do. Also wants bigger eyes. Oh, I'm making also one too.
Oh, I'm perfectly. Oh, God, I have the right number of stitches. Oh, that makes me so happy.
Karen says, did I share that Insta reel where the guy gives the helpful, in quotations, tip to go into your partner's sewing cabinet and use their fabric scissors for cutting pretty much everything?
Yeah, except I had to stop watching or I would have been accused of murder. I know I'm not supposed to.
Oh, right. Also ordered a purple. Yes, okay. Also, I gotta add notes.
Okay, so the base of the bag is this big. That's a two-skein
That's a fair
project.
size thing.
Oh, she's a bit of a beast.
Alright, come here, Notion.
Lovely.
I would open it on my computer, but I'm pretty sure it opens on the screen that's sharing the Zoom call right now.
That would be awkward.
Yeah, I don't really need to share that much detail.
No, no, probably not. All right, what else do I want to work on? You know what? Budget. This is like our second last or last one, isn't it?
There we go.
One,
Okay.
two, three, four. Yeah, this would be like our last one. This is our fourth sprint.
Yeah, I believe we've just done our 4th sprint, so we'll do one more sprint.
Yeah. I'm just going to keep working on my mushroom bag.
I will go back to my sock heel. But I've got to add.
I'm happy working on this. Okay. Ooh, this one says in back loop only.
You want a red one, and also wants a purple one. Niece wanted a dark blue, and I don't know what color nephew wanted, but I will ask. Okay.
I'm going to happily keep working on my mushroom bag.
Come back to me. Heel pattern.
Now I'm going to keep this first one because the first time working through a pattern, things can go sideways, and you'll have a much better idea. Especially since
Yeah.
I didn't gauge swatch. I didn't check none
Also
of
says
that.
her Triceratops can live in her mushroom.
Yes, it can.
And the mushroom bag looks larger than on the photo, and Knitting Purple says that's a good size. Karen asks, what weight of yarn are you using?
It calls for 2 strands of 4-weight yarn or worsted tail double for a bulky, though she does say you can use like the Burnett blanket yarn, but she super stresses you really need to have a worsted for the string, just because of how it's constructed.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I could make this out of blanket yarn.
Jude got 3 squares done and just gonna plug away at some more. I need to check how many squares I still need later.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. If you're in a groove with granny squares, stick with granny squares.
Also started the test knit hat.
Ooh, my hat? Excellent. I still don't have a gauge swatch posted.
Karen says, I really need to weave in ends. I realized today that I didn't do that on. Sorry, that's slightly covered by the. Oh, yeah, on the Stardew sock that I finished last week. There's
Whoops.
this little reactions button that I can't figure out how to get rid of,
Ugh.
but it will cover the last couple of words on the line of
Yeah,
people's messages.
I
So sometimes I can't read your message until somebody sends a message and it moves above the button.
hate that reactions
Sorry.
button.
I don't know how to get rid of it.
I don't know either.
But it also. Oh, you know what? It doesn't actually. Ooh. Ha! It doesn't show up on the chat on the streaming software.
Oh, cool.
Good to know.
Whoosh. Ah,
Everyone agrees the button is annoying.
sorry, this is
What
the
even happens if I press this button? What if I go toot? No, it just goes toot.
uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
weird. But it disappears when we're not live, so it's a live reaction button. Okay. I wish it wasn't there, or I wish stuff rearranged around it. I wish it wasn't where it is.
Super
And yes,
fair.
your hat is the one Oss is working on.
Okay. I don't have a gate. Oh, well, it's fine. She's doing a different weight
All
anyway.
right. Shall I start the last sprint?
Yes. I've kept crocheting the whole way through.
It's fine.
I've really wanted
All
to
right.
work on this mushroom bag all week, and I forced myself to stay with work knitting.
Begin.
And yesterday,
Wah!
what I could have done for fun crafting, I was pretending my orc with a power claw was a dude on a horse. Uh,
I mean, why not? That sounds like fun. It sounds like fun to me. Oh, going this way. Okay.
he had an epic little not mushroom frog stitch marker. So he's known as Frog. Though we did, for fun, make the nod to Stargate by naming the one that just had the little fancy ball stitch marker. Ball. As we could. And boy, it worked great. Like I was able to keep track of the models a lot better on the table just by hanging a stitch marker around their head.
Nice.
So if it makes the game more accessible to me, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Though I did tell Mr. B I would brush off my Blood Bowl stuff to play Dungeon Bowl and stuff with him because I'm not playing in the league this year, so
Hmm.
I can't in good conscience ask everybody in the league to come to me to play our games. And traveling at night is so not a thing I can do by myself anymore.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Now I'll miss playing Blood Bowl. I will not miss chasing down my opponents every 2 weeks.
A little less stress.
Yes. Well, it was the hey, our match is upcoming. We should figure out a date and time to make that work. Do either of these 2 dates and times work for you? Reply, no. I'm going to start beating manners into people. That's what I'm going to do. If you have to say no because the time doesn't work, you're supposed to respond with times that would.
Yeah. Because no
Nobody,
is like,
nobody
no,
does
go
this.
away. Like,
Nobody, they're
but
like,
we
no,
gotta.
those
But
those
we gotta.
those dates don't work for me. Oh, if I could climb through this computer and strangle you right now, I would.
Okay, so what days would work for you?
Which is always like the next text you have to send or an email you have to send. They're like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, how do you not know your own schedule? What is wrong with you?
Can you message their partners?
Give me your wife's number. Bypassing you entirely. This is a waste of my time. I did give Mr. B grief because he did the same thing in the Discord thread. We were trying to arrange a thing. And I was like, I texted him, I said, do you know that thing that drives you and me nuts that Blood Bowl opponents will do? Where they don't give alternative dates and just say no to the first date that's shot out there. Ben's like, yeah. I'm like, don't do it. I am so you go back into Discord and you correct that right now. He's like, oh, I'm in trouble. I'm like, yes, you are. You just did the thing we just all the time complain about because it drives us up the
Yeah, we
flipping
gotta suggest an
wall.
alternative. Like, it's fine if this
It doesn't
doesn't work,
work.
but like,
Give
give
me,
me an alternative.
and I don't give you one date. I give you 5 dates. Which one of these 5 time slots do any of these work in your schedule? And it doesn't matter if it's the fifth one. Just go, oh yeah, that one works. And I go, perfect, penciled in, done. I don't give 1 or 2 options. I give 5. I give 5 options. 5. And they're different dates. Some are weeknights, some are weekends, different times, sometimes in the evening, sometimes during the day, because you never know what anybody's schedule is going to be like these days. There could be kids, there could be dance lessons, there could be fun weekend stuff planned. You just don't know. You just don't know. But it's the same with somebody like, oh, we should get together next month. I go, okay, cool. I don't have a problem doing the organizing. Can you please send me all the dates, like for a group of people? Send me all the dates where you for sure are busy. Like as of right now, your butt is scheduled to do these things. Everybody doesn't send a complete list. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? If you are scheduling multiple people, you need the complete list. That is the only way it works. Need list.
For scheduling groups of people, there's, or was anyway at one point, there's like a, basically a website where everybody fills out their like check marks on the table. So like whoever's making the thing, it's like, okay, Thursday at this time, and this time, and Friday at this time, and this time. So they just like make a table of all the available dates and times and then send it out to everybody. Everybody comes in, adds their name, and then like, okay, I'm definitely available at this time. I am definitely not available for this other thing. And if this is the only time, there's also an option for if this is the only time that works, I'll make it work, but I would really rather not do this time, but I can if I have to.
This is the same group of boys that
And
can't figure out how to send an email or reply to a text. That's too complicated for them.
ugh, when everybody actually fills it out, it's really nice.
It's way too
Because
reliant.
then you get like two obvious things where either okay, this is the only date that works for everybody, or okay, there's 2 dates that work for most people, so it's gonna be one of these.
And then there's always the person that never sticks to the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the guys in the Lord of the Rings group. If he wasn't an ex-boyfriend, and if I didn't still love him very much, I would have throttled him at this point. As it is, I chase him around rooms like 6 and 8, and I threaten to throw things at him because he cannot, for the life of him, put his own flippant schedule in his calendar, and he has ADD. It drives me bonkers because you forget things. You need a calendar more than the average human.
Yeah, yeah, you really gotta write stuff down.
If your brain doesn't remember things, you're super gonna write things down. Especially if you're running a freaking league. Usually starts with
Lasai.
me pointing a finger, going, "You come here with range," and he goes, "Nope, not doing it. I'm in trouble." I'm like, "We're going to call it for wraps for Sunday. If any of you 5 boys leave this store without picking a date for the next time, I will personally hunt you down and give you, and there will be words,
Words.
words, because I'm in Games Workshop, so I can't swear." Because if your group that meets together does not pick a date before everybody parts, no date will be picked.
Jude says, isn't that known as chaotic organization?
It's known as Jocelyn running around crowing people.
It's called organization via Jocelyn. Whoops, I have unscrewed my needle.
I'm a professional kitten herder. That's what I do. And of course, you always have like the one person in the group going, "Well, I mean, it's open now, but if something goes wrong," it's like, dude, you do not need to absolutely every time we make a schedule point go, "But if I'm sick, I won't show up." Obviously. We don't need a reminder of this. Like, come on now. We need to know when you're busy doing your religious stuff, when you're busy doing work stuff, when you're busy doing family stuff. Like, when does this fit in your schedule? I don't need to know that you're not going to, if you get sick, you won't come. You don't need to warn us every time.
Knitting Purple says, nobody sends my hubby a text. They just message me with all the dates and questions.
Oh, just
Yeah. They know how this works.
oh, everyone's got one in their life where you're just like, I am going to kill you. And I make a plan, and everyone's like, "Why are you so relaxed when the plan goes to?" I'm like, "Because step one is make the plan. Step two is execute the plan. Step three is to pitch the plan because it's not going to work." I know it's not going to work. No plan survives first contact with reality. Just not work.
But because there is a plan, something will happen. As opposed to if there
Something,
is no plan,
nothing
nothing will
can happen.
happen.
So it's fine. Like if you're running a half hour late from work, we'll start playing Magic later. If you got wrapped up in trouble, we need to do a last minute cancellation because like a family member died. We will do a last minute cancellation. Like life is chaotic. The plan isn't going to go to plan.
Yeah.
But you sort of structure to, you know what? If things work out relatively okay, this will occur. Perfect. Move on with our day. That's all it needs to be. Well, it's the same like you're traveling here for Canadian Thanksgiving this year.
Mm-hmm.
What were my exact words to you? Wherever I fit, put me in there.
Yeah.
Whatever your transition day from the cabin back to the city is, that's the day we record. And I will make it work. Because it's not the end, and I have that date now. Done. I will plug it in and I will make my plans accordingly. Finished. It's me, guys. My Thanksgiving's with me. It's going to be me. My mom sent down some turkey boobs. I'm gonna have some turkey boobs, some potatoes, and some cranberry sauce. I'm making a vegan beast anyway because I have all the ingredients for vegan beast. Because
Vegan
if
Beast.
Diana makes it here early enough, we could have vegan beast for lunch.
I suspect it won't be for lunch.
It can't be
Because I'll
for
have
dinner.
to drop. Well, it definitely won't be for dinner. I will just be jealous that your apartment smells like delicious
Vegan
vegan beast,
beast.
and I'll just be jealous.
That's fair. Because it's
Because I have to
totally
drop the brothers off at home
it's
first.
doable. You just have to tell them to be up on time and stick
Hmm.
firm. Stick firm. I can start. I can lecture Mr. B this Wednesday if we have magic and it happens. I can be like, "She's here for lunch, so you figure out how to be out of bed on time. You're a man in your 30s. You know how to set an alarm. Figure it out."
Maybe I'll just tell them a time an hour earlier.
I
than whatever the
do
actual plan is.
I do that with my sister because she's notoriously difficult to get out of the house. I do that with Mr. B all the time. Whatever time I suggest, I don't actually expect to see him until an hour after. But I actually plan to work well into after the he's arrived time initially is discussed because he's always late. So, like, if you know that's how the person runs, you're always late too. Whatever time you tell
Yeah, I
me,
know.
I don't even bother start getting ready till after that time is come and gone.
I genuinely don't mean to be, but something always happens.
I'm used to it. Okay, we've made it around the corner. We got a lip. We have a wee bucket.
Bucket!
Now we need to make more bucket wall. How many rounds of bucket wall do I need to make? How many minutes do we have left in this round?
I don't know, it's your pattern.
No, no. How many minutes do we have left in the
What?
round?
Oh, sorry, round. Sorry, I heard round and I'm like crochet round. No, we have just under 13 minutes.
Okay, I should be able to do a couple. So I should have. Oh, I'll be able to count. Okay. And this is just basic crocheting in the round, not through the back loop, not doing an increase stitch. This is why I don't want to do the window first time around, because I want to have a
Hmm.
better idea of the size of the bag. Because you have an alternative where you can make it so the window will open and you can have yarn come out the window hole.
It's so cute.
But I gotta start with the basic bag first so I have a better understanding. Don't get me wrong, the reason I'm pushing this is because all I want to do is make freaking little doors with doorknobs. I want to make doors with doorknobs. Oh, I'm so excited. Halloween starts tomorrow.
I'm almost done this heel.
Ugh. But I could definitely go for a tighter weave. Like I have an 8 millimeter, and this is fine. It'll be a stinking cute bag. But I think I need to go down to a 6.5 millimeter to get a nice tight weave. So I might stuff this first one and make it a mushroom stuffy.
Ooh, could be a mushroom stuffy.
Could be a mushroom stuffy. But since I didn't want to do a gauge swatch, I understood that this was a potential. Oh, ear itchy. Itchy ear. Why? Why itchy? No reason for my ear to be itchy.
Yes, Karen, I'm not forgetting the increases. Well, actually, I had entirely forgotten the increases, and I was thinking, like, what increases? Yes, I've already forgotten the increases, so yeah, you're right. I should do them now rather than later.
Yep.
Because you're right, I already forgot.
This chica wasn't born yesterday, I'll tell you that much. That's a pretty orange shirt. Is that the B-side one?
No, I stole this one from Mr. Diana.
Oh, okay. I know I was telling my mom.
Because the B-sides one has such a cheerful graphic on it that I'm like, I feel like that's inappropriate for the reason we're wearing orange shirts.
Fair. I know my mom's like, I think I said an orange shirt down with the shirts. I said, because I want to make those t-shirt rugs where it's the strips of material braided or knotted together to make like that super dense, comfy, you can throw in the washing
Yeah,
machine
yeah, yeah.
rug. So I've started collecting the materials for that because obviously reduce, reuse, recycle. So I'm using scraps. Old t-shirts, family doesn't wear anymore and stuff. And I was like, no, no, I have an orange shirt. I've had an orange shirt for years. Now, is it the official orange shirt for National Reconciliation Day? No. It is, however, an orange shirt.
I feel like it's a bit overkill to wear a, or to own a shirt that you only wear once a year.
Well, I am extremely uncomfortable in the crew neck printed t-shirts.
Yes.
So I don't. I still want to show support, hence the orange shirt. And I certainly have done like the pre-programming stuff, and I listened to the programmed stuff this morning for the celebrations of Indigenous and stuff. So like I've done that part today. I missed the like the official because we were doing this. So I do that part, but I know myself. Like I participate in like the family hugs group for Pride Winnipeg when I can make it out to a Pride event. I don't wear the shirts either. They give me a button, a lanyard, and they just point me out because I'm constantly tugging at crew necks. I'm so uncomfortable in them. So
Like me with
uncomfortable in
my
them.
mock neck sweatshirt the other day where I just couldn't stop. I really like it, except for the neck.
Yeah, something like that.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's just like a quarter inch too tight.
And I love looking at the shirts because like you get those printed graphic t-shirts and stuff with like that print on the front piece. And there's so many really super cute ones. And it's just like I know I won't wear them. I know I won't wear them and I will be uncomfortable if I do. So no, no, don't do it.
Apparently, autocorrect, the statement about the don't forget your increases, autocorrect wanted to make it don't forget you're incredible. And thank you. Thank you, autocorrect. I won't forget. Knitting Purple said, I have never celebrated Halloween.
Oh, that's fair. You may not have, if you grew up somewhere or with a family where it wasn't a thing, why would you do it? I grew up in a massive Halloween family. My mom was hand
Oh, yeah.
painting bats black with white trim to go out and place her butterfly sticks that live in her flower pots in the summer. And was asking me if the eyeballs were too big coming out of the fall foliage on the deck. And the eyeballs are like this big. And I went, nope, with spider web flowers in the background. And that's just what she's done this year to update stuff. We have Halloween bucket topiaries. One year we turned the whole front yard of the last house in Brandon into a shipwreck. So we had skeleton bones sticking out of the ground. Dad had the fog machine and the music going. One year in Winnipeg, we had everything set up for a ghouls, ghost, and tavern. So we had the drunken brawlers with the old kitchen table, and we had we had them going at it just outside the graveyard. And Dad manned the booth, and kids could come up and get like apple juice shots or orange juice shots, and the adults could get adult beverages. Well, the kids got candy. We went through a lot of booze that year.
Yeah, I bet.
But I've
Best house in the neighborhood.
we averaged over 150 kids normally because those
Oh, I
decorations went
bet with
up.
the fancy house.
Well, yeah, because the decorations go up in September. So like there was like a month and more where people would be like driving past the house on the cul-de-sac we lived in to get a closer look. Like there's one year where we sent Sherry onto the roof because we had to staple the spider web incorrectly so it hung properly because it was floating too much. So I have a picture of my sister dancing on the roof, which you don't dance on a roof. It's dangerous. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And she just popped up the ladder and up she went. It's not uncommon for me to be painting tombstones in July. Like, we're a huge Halloween family. When I told my mom I'm making a Halloween Christmas tree, didn't even blink. Absolutely. My Christmas tree is 7 feet tall. It's a lot of tree.
Karen saying, I didn't even know what Halloween was until I was in my teens. And Knitting Purple says, here in the UK, Halloween is not a big thing, and for Christmas, it's a big no no.
Oh. People do
But
Christmas
dressing up and too
larger
much candy.
larger than we do Halloween. If you've ever seen those like American program shows where they show you the super over decorated Christmas houses? That's us at
Oh
Halloween.
my god. Yeah, that's.
That's how that works for us.
You're the super over decorated Halloween house.
Yeah. Every couple of years, the radio or the news would come by and interview and take photos.
Sorry, negotiating my last very tricky stitch here. Ugh. Okay. Okay, we're down to finishing the heel. With 3.5 minutes to go, I'm gonna finish this heel in 3 sprints.
Okay.
Knit all stitches across the needle, knitting the 2 twin stitches as single stitches. When you've completed, you will stop 2 stitches on the right so that they will soon disappear. I'm mildly concerned about the amount of yarn I have left, but I guess no, that's plenty of yarn for the other heel. Definitely not enough. I don't know if I even have enough yarn to put any of this blue in the cuff. But we'll see. Ooh, I've unscrewed my needle again. I hate when that happens.
I'm doing a counting row.
I can tell. Get back in there, needle. Eh. I should be saying words about stuff. Words about stuff, I know. What sweaters? Okay, it's gonna be maybe, probably, hopefully chilly while I'm in Manitoba.
Oh.
What sweaters should I bring? Because I'm thinking the Stegosaurus sweater for sure.
Well, I feel like I don't have to even vote for that. We already know that's coming. What are the ones have you finished?
What other ones have I finished? Well, I've got like my Steinkrieger, but I think that is maybe overkill because that's a bulky. I've got all the various ones that you've given me. So there was the gray stripy cardigan. There's the like the fall colored cocoon cardigan. There's the Easy V. The one the V-shaped neckline with the color work.
Easy V.
That's like tunic length on me.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's also too heavy for this time of year.
It's a worsted.
It's a little heavy.
It's a little heavy. What's the gray stripy one?
There's like a gray and white, just long cardigan. I don't know what pattern it was. I think it's just double crochets.
I don't even remember what I've given you at this point.
I would say maybe it was like a campfire cardi or something. I don't know if that's right.
Yes.
And it was like a self-striping yarn.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know what kind.
Yeah. Okay, I
It was
remember.
gray and white.
That one would work. Because that
And then
one's
I've got
not
like
too
my
heavy.
purple cocoon cardigan that I brought or that I made. I've got the like yellowy, the speckly one that I made out of the giant Karen cake, the Karen anniversary cake.
You're gonna find that too warm.
Yeah, I think so.
I think your Find Your Fade cardigan.
Oh yeah, the comfort fade.
Yeah, the Comfort Fade and the either the fall colored cocoon or the gray stripy one.
I feel like I've got some more that I'm forgetting. What's on that second shelf? Oh, I've got that giant glam lamb.
Oh, you never wear that.
Yeah, it's pretty rare that I wear that. It doesn't stay on very well.
No.
I made it too big. Maybe you could just do the cast off edge in the contrast color. Oh, sorry, the sprint's finished at some point and I wasn't paying attention. Potentially, yeah. I could do just the cast off in the What I have been doing is I do like a few rows in the main color and then I stripe in whatever remains of the contrast color, which so far has been like 3 or 4 rows. And then whenever I run out of that, I just go back to the main color until the cuff is as long as it needs to be.
We have a bucket and some walls.
Ooh,
Ugh.
I have a heel. I have a sock with a heel, and I have a sock without a heel.
We got some buckets and walls going on here. I think definitely next time I'm going to go down a hook size. But I'm liking it. I still might use it as a bag. I'm going to have to see how it does when I get up towards the top, whether or not I end up stuffing it. I'm going to make the bag. I just might stuff it and close it and never use it as a bag, you know? What's this?
Tilt. Okay. I'm gonna make that invisible now. We don't need that anymore. Also says, if you finish Mr. Diana's sweater, you need those for the super cute photos. Yes. If indeed I have finished the sweater, then yes, that would definitely need to come. I talked to Sibling and Sibling's partner about whether they're interested in my tacky matching sweater Christmas photo multi-year project.
Of course they are.
And yes, they absolutely are, except for theirs, I have to do it in a set of 3 colors because they have to match with the cat. So they all need their set of colors. So they're getting a 3-color version that are all just different combinations
because the color
of the 3 colors because
the color work can be in the 2 colors that are in the other 2 sweaters with the body for each person.
Yeah, well, and the chart for the Steinkrieger is actually meant to be like a 3-color chart or something, and I've been making it a 1-color chart or a 2-color, I guess.
Of course. I love your brother.
So yeah, because they have to match the cat. So, and they want a 70s like autumnal kind of color palette, like oranges and browns, and
they want to look like Chesterfields.
Yes,
I heavily endorse the Chesterfield look life.
So I'm very excited.
Huge fan.
About that set of Steinkriegers. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it for the cat, so I'll tackle that one last.
Essentially find a good cat sweater and cram the Steinkrieger chart on it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because the sweater that I made for Gilbert last year seems to work pretty well, and he seems to like it.
Okay, so just with the Steinkrieger.
Yeah, I'll just have to figure out how to cram some version of the chart onto it.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Oh. If you make the cat one in a lighter weight yarn that you can hold double to then be in the adult sweaters, that might work.
There's a thought.
Because then you'd have more stitches around, so you have more space for the chart. My cat is happy.
Anyway, this is very much a next year problem. These aren't happening for this Christmas.
Yes, it is a next year problem.
For next Christmas, I need to
do the thing.
Start incorporating more people into my ridiculous sweater project.
Ooh. All right, guys. That's WIP Sprints.
That is WIP Sprints. That's 5 solid WIP Sprints.
And we're going to let everybody go because we will have to be back here tomorrow for the monthly live. So,
yep. Noon Manitoba time.
Noon Manitoba time. Once Diana has affixed all of the buttons and tells me that I'm okay to sign off, I shall sign off.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I have the button ready to end the stream, so.
Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.